Nah, just like, what's going on, y'all? Waiting Q podcast. Here's your boy Dono.
It's Chad, Chado, Joey Chadass.
What's good, y'all? This Dylan. It's your boy Dylan.
Before we even get into the topic, I want to pull somebody in our we be posting clips, if y'all don't know, on Instagram, right? And we have posted a clip. We have posted one of the clips from our previous podcast when we was like, it's no proof that some of the stuff in space is like real and stuff like that. And somebody on there commented and they said, what did they say? They said, what did they say? I can't even find it, bro. I can't even find the junk no more.
What'd they say, bro?
It's not on there. You know what I'm talking about. When he was like, I believe everything. I don't even see that.
It's the one on the alien video.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page.
Yeah, you're on the wrong episode.
Oh wait, no, that is the right one.
It's the alien one.
That's one. Is this one right?
Go to the comments.
Yeah, it's not there no more.
No, it is. View more reply. I believe it all.
Oh, yeah. So he basically said. So basically, y'all saying all them other galaxies don't hold any life forms in it. We the only people out here.
You gotta give context on like what the actual clip is.
Okay, so the actual clip was us saying basically there's no proof that any. Well, I just played the audio.
I'd rather somebody go up there and sacrifice themselves for the science.
There's literally no real proof of any aliens. There's no real proof of any planets. There's no.
Yeah, he could have.
That's not real. That's not real, Dylan. So to keep y'all surface dwellers in line, they have to create a society.
I think galaxy stuff might be real though.
But that wasn't the point though. And the guy said, so basically y'all saying all them other galaxies don't hold any other life forms in it. We the only people out here in the entire universe. That's cap. And then I had responded to this one. I was like, have you seen any other life forms? ? And he says, yes, I believe it all. And it just so happens that yesterday, Donald Trump tweeted going at Elon Musk. Let me pull up the exact quote.
Yeah, you put that on that too.
He
is
said,
it on
that man,
Instagram?
I don't know where it's at. All I know is I screenshotted it, but so I don't know where I found that. I think it was on DJ Academic's page where I seen it. But Donald Trump said when Elon Musk came to the White House.
I put on my messages for a split second. I didn't need to.
And this man better expose.
Himself. Hate to see it.
But yeah, he said Elon.
Y'all just skip over that.
He said Elon Musk came to the White House asking for help on his many subsidized projects.
If you DM it to the Instagram, I could try to maybe. Nah, just keep going.
You could though.
I tried to do it via messages. Hold on.
I mean,
just pull
let
up
me go
Instagram.
to the side angle. So
He's just. I'm about to say just.
All right.
No, just scroll
up.
You got all you gotta do, bro, is open up Instagram and then go to it.
I mean, I can DM you the
Instagram.
picture on Instagram.
And then go sign into the Watiting podcast page.
And no, sign into your personal junk. Sign into your personal page and just pull it up. Anyways, I'll still read it regardless. But
yeah, go ahead and read it.
You sending it?
I'm gonna send it to your personal thing. Since you probably already signed into that, I would think. But he said, I sent it. I have to refresh. All right, yeah, he can pull it up right there, but I'm gonna still read it from the phone. He said, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driveless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere without which subsidies he'd be worthless. And telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said drop to your knees in bed and he would have done it. But basically, the rocket ships to nowhere, that was the main point that we was trying to tell y'all in the video the other day. Basically, these rocket ships aren't going nowhere. They're not going to the moon. They not going to no other planets.
Y'all don't think the moon landing real?
Dylan, we already went over that. In the
I don't think so.
we
saw NASA just released those photos of what it looks like through that telescope. That just looks so photoshopped.
I didn't see that.
It looks so photoshopped. Let me see if I can.
I ain't even
pull it
see
up.
that.
I think the moon landing might be real, but I don't think the other planets are real.
I ain't see
You think
that.
the moon landing? Here it is.
If the moon, I don't think it's that far.
They showed a
other
picture
stuff.
through a telescope. Is what you saying?
Yeah. So like, let me see if I can make it bigger. So this is what NASA said.
How is that through a telescope? I'm so confused.
So this is what they said their telescope pulled up. Now if you look at the photos, right? Look.
Wait, they telescope.
Yeah, like.
But isn't that stuff just stars? Yeah, I'm about to say just stars.
What are they
This
saying?
looks
They
like
saying
Photoshop,
our
right?
they
our
saying
planets
that. Wait, so
Planets
they,
are stars. So
what
that's
do
probably
the
why.
captions
It
say?
says here it is, the grand finale of James
Okay.
Webb Space Telescope's first
But they
images
pictures
behind
just extra HD.
behind the curtain of dust and
Bruh.
gas in these cosmic cliffs. Like I could look at that.
look
That
like
looks so fake,
That look like something made in Microsoft Paint.
bruh. I feel like I
don't
can
know.
make this, bruh. Like, what is this? Like, they're telling us that this stuff is stars and stuff, but like, what is this? People are like, this is the greatest discovery in humankind.
No
and I'm
way.
like, what are y'all looking
No, I
at?
go to the comments, bro. It's got to be people talking about some ninja jump fake as a mud.
My heart when I saw this universal.
Nowhere. Okay, yeah, it's a whole bunch of imbeciles on the comment section, but yeah, that
There was
that's-
another dude who he had a photo of what the actual stars look like. Let me see if I can find it on his Instagram story. I started dying laughing. Anyways, it showed like like a marble kitchen counter.
Yeah,
And
he-
it showed like the little
he
black
took
thing,
a
and it was
pic.
like, this is just a marble kitchen counter. And I was like, yeah, this was actually the photo of it right here.
I'm dead.
Like, what is this?
I'm pretty sure if you was to take a
It
picture,
was that many stars in one
This
spot.
is only the beginning. What a time to be alive. Like, this doesn't help anybody.
see, and that's what I was explaining in our other video. I was basically saying that all this because people would ask why. What would be the point of faking it is to give people hope that, like that idiot said, this is only the beginning. It's to give y'all hope that is more stuff out there than what it actually is. Otherwise, if they would have just said, y'all stuck here on this flat earth with a dome over your head, y'all be trying to go crazy.
Yeah,
So-
because this is nonsense. I'm like,
He said
what
this is
this?
nonsense.
This is that is complete utter basura.
malarkey, but
That was a lie.
but no, I just thought that comment was funny because as soon as we talked about it, that man said rocket ships are nowhere, so I just thought that was funny.
It's that man Trump, the OG. He say it like it is.
He
He said
Trump,
Elon
the
drives
OG.
crashing cars, takes a rocket ship to
Crashing
nowhere, and said
cars.
get down on your knees. I could have told him to beg. That man,
This man
hilarious.
Joey. This
That
man.
man's
That
hilarious.
man wiki. That man read it back and the voice and everything.
Yeah, but I guess with the space thing, we could tie it into because we're really going to be talking about religion and spirituality today. So,
That smooth transition into the next.
for real. But aliens, yeah, I'm not going for that. That would just.
So you don't think? Well, that's another episode. We did that other episode.
I mean, aliens would just contradict. I guess like.
If aliens were real,
religion.
just be like. They said they are. They
like
said they're
we
real.
already said, they would have been came down. Like the planet has been here for over like 200 plus years, bro. It would have been, we would have all been taken over at this point, bro.
To be honest, and I'm like, if aliens were real, which they're not, why? What are they doing? Like, why do they show up and just observe it
Yeah.
and give people random like hallucination memories where they're like, was it real? Now I'm freaked out for it. Like what purpose? Like, what's the reason? Like that it serves no purpose. So it's like,
And if anything, they would have no reason to take us over. Cause let's just for a second like pretend that they was real. If they have so much advanced technology and all this, what would they want to do with Earth? We don't have nothing that
all
would
the
be.
movies say water, and I'm like, why would they even care about our water?
We would have nothing that's valuable.
Water, dude. It is a lot of water though on Earth.
Yeah, and a lot of it's not even been explored. I would think aliens would be underwater before they're in space, bro. Like,
What did they say about Antarctica? Like
You can't
Drive
go
with it.
past a certain space. That's just because they don't want y'all to realize that it's a everlasting like thing. Like it's ever expanding. Like they don't want y'all to realize that. Like the ring,
Yeah,
like
but
when
you
we
have to
pulled up,
explain that.
Oh, you talking about the dome ends?
yeah. No, not it's going in. I'm saying it's expanding outward. So like it's no end to Antarctica.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna say,
remember
you
when we
have to explain
pulled
that.
up the?
But what do you mean by that? So Antarctica just keeps going.
Yeah, it's everlasting.
Everlasting? I don't know if that's the right terminology for that.
I don't have the right terminology, but what
It's
I'm
ever expanding.
yeah, ever expanding. Like it's just continues outward. Like it's no
Listen,
end
I don't know
to
if
it.
that's
I heard
Like
they do have
terminology.
bases set up in Antarctica so that way you can't go past a certain point. Like they stop. It's not that you can't just like.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
about to
go
say,
hike.
they
I
say
think
you
they
can't
actually
go there.
stop you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying even beyond that. Was that my phone?
Plus,
but
nobody-
This man talked about.
Plus, nobody's really been out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't want people to understand that. For one, like I even said in our other episode, you can't even find a real picture of like you know how they have overhead pictures of like other states and like countries and stuff like that. There's no real overhead picture of Antarctica. That's because you can't take an overhead picture of it.
Why?
I think look it up. Well, we just
Because
look it up.
when
What is
we
Antarctica
when we
like?
when
Overhead
we
picture of
when we
Antarctica?
showed
Overhead
when we
picture of
showed
Antarctica.
when we showed you the model the other day,
You just look it up. real quick.
look at the flat Earth model. Pull it.
I mean, they probably had
Man, this was
people flying. They probably flew over Antarctica.
No, because Antarctica is not the plane is flat. It looks
You talking about like
this.
this. It
No,
goes
no,
around.
no. This one. It looks like this.
Can I put it up on a video?
This
I can
white
see that.
stuff is Antarctica. You can't take an overhead picture of Antarctica because it's not like its own continent. It's just a ring. That's the border that's keeping everything in. It's a big old wall. Like if you ever seen
So you saying when we fly to different parts of different countries and stuff, you fly to those, but if you were to fly further than those, you would reach Antarctica on all sides.
yeah, and basically the
Flat earthers have come full circle. That's what it says.
what's the show? Game of Thrones. Have y'all seen that?
I need to start
Nah, I
watching.
never watched it.
Well, they had like the little white wall. That's where the whole winter is coming thing. Where they have like this whole big old white wall, and that's kind of like
Antarctica.
the gateway. Yeah.
So North Pole is what? Just the middle
North
of it?
Pole would be that, and that's where they say like the tree of life and all that stuff is. That's where in these movies and stuff like even Avatar, the one with the green people or not green but the blue people, they have like that little tree of life thing. That's where the center of the earth is right there. But basically, you can't find no real picture of Antarctica because it's not what is depicted on the globe. The Earth is not a globe, so that's why you can't find a real picture of Antarctica.
So
It's
it look
basic.
like this.
No, see, that's what idiots. That's what idiots, because that's what people thought when
Earth
they
is
were like,
flat.
Like this.
but not even that exactly. Like it's more expanding out.
So you don't
than
think that the Earth
Like
curves
this.
at all?
It's even more expanded out than that, though.
So you don't think the Earth, not expands. You don't think the
So
Earth
like this.
curves at all?
Chad, it's not gonna be a picture of it because we don't have any pictures of it. Like you can't see it. Basically, just imagine like a everlasting.
It's just a big border.
yeah,
And when you say
but you can
it's-
traverse it, but only to a certain point.
or else you'll fall off.
No, I'm saying like they have people there to stop you. Like y'all was saying, you can't go past it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a don't even think the world.
So like
Yeah,
this.
it's down there.
Yeah, that's
go
Game of
down.
Thrones, I think, or is it? Yeah,
Chad.
that is Game of Thrones. I
Chad,
think.
go down.
Go down.
Yeah, go down.
This way?
No, I'm there.
Like look up Game of
Keep going
Thrones.
down, keep going down. Right there. To the
Right
right.
here?
Yeah, that's it.
That's a
That's what Donovan said.
better picture right here.
I don't think the Earth look like that though.
That's
I really don't know.
that's not. That's just a user created image. It don't look exactly like that. But what I'm saying is that's the idea of it.
The only reason I would say it's flat is because, like it says in my good old Bible,
He said,
that
"My
he
good
created
old
the
Bible."
heavens, he created the waters, and then he divided it. So it's just water, regular ground, everything else is heaven. So like space, I would consider like before you get to heaven. So like the reason people can't go through space because it's space. Like I think God said, okay, we're gonna make some earth, we're gonna make the ground.
He said we're gonna make.
Then he said, I'm gonna make the waters, and I'm gonna make the waters so intricate that they'll never be able to completely discover, like explore it. And then he said for space, I need a little area before you can like fly to heaven. So he's like, I'm just gonna put space where it's just empty space, and then I'm just gonna make some stuff and throw it here so they can be marveled and not realize that like you got to go through space to get to heaven. But I think that space is like you take a like he just made empty space and then just like I'm filling it with stuff.
Look up ancient Earth model.
Ancient Earth.
Yeah, to see like what older civilizations, like even I don't know what that one is. What's that? Click that. I'm gonna see. It don't tell you. But
Waters above the firmament. That might be a little hokey.
he said that may be a little hokey, but no, all ancient civilizations they had like the Earth model depicted.
This would be it, like what you said.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It'll be something like that.
That's what I said.
It's a video. It's a video that I
I
had.
don't know though. So you think that the moon does kind of stay up all the time?
The moon shows during the day sometimes.
The Earth is so big. Like if we go outside, the Earth is huge. So you're not gonna be able to see it looking like that. You get what I'm saying? So like instead of
So when they go to outer space and they show us footage, they just put down like a green screen.
when they go to outer space, they just
I think
going
it's-
up, but they're just so high up. You get what I'm
And
saying?
it looks round.
No, they have fish islands and stuff as well that they be using.
You're saying they really playing tricks on us?
No, I thought you already seen that junk. How they be having the fish islands.
Nah, I didn't know that.
No, but yeah, that's what they be doing to curve it.
I think it may be curved.
You ain't see that junk with the fish islands?
Nah.
No, this man behind.
If they using fish island stuff, but I mean the Earth being circular, it sounds cool, but my brain more so tends to
He
lean more
said
flat Earth. But if I say I'm flat Earth, they're like, there you go. With the
Like,
laser
let's
tag.
just pretend that it was round. Like, how would they get pictures and stuff from like under, like from the South Pole and stuff like that? Like, how could they depict that?
What you mean that?
Like, how come every time you look at a picture of the Earth, it's from the same angle?
No, there's different angles.
And that's fake right there, but that's fake too.
This just don't look.
Yeah, like this, like this stuff be so fake. And plus,
I think
it's,
they do have different photos of it though.
like Dylan, every time you look up a picture of the Earth, it's literally the same little 2D.
The
angle.
Apple emoji has different ones. It has like 3 or 4 different ones.
What you mean?
He's talking about it has the ones from the different, like showing different countries
Countries.
right there.
But I'm saying it's always from the same thing. It's not like
talking
they.
about-
It's
it's
not
just-
like
it's
they.
just a circle,
Yeah,
it's just turned.
they never show the North Pole. They never show the South
Yeah, they do. That's
Pole.
what we're saying.
No, you're saying that you see like look, so like here's America and here's Africa.
What I'm saying is they never show
You're-
under. They never show the
Yeah,
North Pole.
you're saying because it's a sphere, they just show the same angle.
Yeah,
every
they just show this.
single time.
Look, that's all you see when you look up Earth. You never see nothing else.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they don't ever show any other angle besides this. But I guess because it's a sphere. But you would think that would go down
Check
below
your
and
Instagram
show us
account there
down
real
below.
quick.
Yeah, if they would had the technology to dang.
But that's probably really how the Earth looks.
If they
though.
had,
What am I supposed to be looking
if
at?
they
Your Instagram. Yeah.
if they had the technology to fly upside down, right?
Yeah.
Dylan, what is that?
But he's
That's a
saying
different one.
what you're showing here though, Dylan, is exactly what Dono is saying. He's saying that
That's probably how the Earth really looks though.
he's saying that, but he's saying every single representation of it is this.
It's the same angle.
It's the same thing.
I'm not saying they showing the same position.
But how do y'all expect it to look though in space? where
But
it's
he's
black?
saying,
Dylan, I'm
he's
saying.
that. Look, he's saying they're showing us Africa, they show us America, Europe, Australia, but where's the North and South Pole? Why don't they ever show that?
Why
Why
don't-
aren't they under?
Yeah,
it?
why they not under the Earth showing under that? Can they not fly upside down if
He's
the Earth
saying
is a
why aren't they ever
globe?
taking an above shot? So it would look like this, but
But
we
it would
see,
never look like that because of how the Earth is though.
But we would see. No, he's saying we would see ice.
You would
If
see-
they say
I'm
this
about to
South
say,
Pole, we would
yeah.
see ice if it was. North
That
Pole.
goes back to what I said, how you've never seen a real image of Antarctica because they can't go under the.
Like this is about as much as like.
I was about to say it's like
That's clouds. That's not.
That might be ice and stuff, bro. I don't think
This
that's
looks
clouds.
like ice right
That's
here.
ice.
That would
But
be.
this is clouds.
The North Pole stuff, they really be having photos of that thing. Because all you do is go to the area and then fly up, and it's gonna look like that if you close enough. It ain't too far.
I think if somebody were to get hit in a space and like if I were to punch you and you were just to fly in space, you would just fly infinitely because I feel like it's just an empty void. Like you have to. I think when we get out of Earth, they start traveling side. They just keep going. They maybe eventually get to heaven, but I think that's why he just stopped. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
it's some void. You like have to die to like for your soul to go past it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal opinion, but I mean that's just how I feel.
I mean, that's the only way off the earth is for you to die.
Yeah.
you can't.
Otherwise, you're kind of stuck here.
You can't
I mean,
travel.
that's otherwise you stuck here.
I mean, it is. If you watch The City, I mean, if you watch the movie, this is the movie that I was telling you about. That was low key better than The Matrix. It's a movie called Dark City. They really go hard on that. But you'll like have to find it on like one of these.
I'm about to say you can do a trailer or you would get demonetized.
I mean, I don't know if it's a trailer for it, but you have to watch it on one of these like movie
Dark
sites.
Cities?
No, Dark City.
You can watch it real quick on the podcast.
This.
Yeah. And they got like
I gotta put up on the screen. Tripping.
they show like the little shots, the vaccines in there. They show
I've never seen it. Well, I may have.
It's an old movie.
You
It was
talking about
before Matrix even came out.
You talking about vaccine stuff?
Huh?
No, I don't know that.
Yeah, they were showing that junk all the way back then.
It was some movie they were doing stuff on monkeys and stuff. I heard that movie though.
I know Planet of the Apes is monkeys.
No, not Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes was harder.
I'm the director of The Crow. And you watch this?
Yeah, I watched it.
On the dark side of the imagination, like it's its own person.
It's not even a real trailer. I
I don't know what's going on.
I was about to say they not even really showing
Showing
nothing.
none of that movie.
Yeah, they not even showing nothing.
The
But
man has no past.
basically, it was about how, like, at a certain time, the people's lives, like, they change. I don't know how to explain it, bro. You just have to watch it, bro.
Alright. So that's
No, it's a good movie.
After that, so
It's a
that's a
good.
movie recommendation.
No, it's a good movie for real. If y'all want to see something that kind of like The Matrix, then you can watch that. For the people that's interested.
Alright, bet. So I guess the segue on into spirituality and religion. So I guess spirituality.
I'm just trying
So
to put
if
the
you've
ball.
been on YouTube, you've probably seen where maybe like last year the spiritual community, like Zoe or So, whatever you want to call them,
Zoe.
spiritual Soul,
Why'd you call him
Man,
Zoe?
Zoe.
I was about to say, why'd you call him Zoe?
On to Cut, probably like Infinite Waters,
Now 2019.
Sublime something.
Sublime Conscious.
Yeah, they all conscious or whatever they call themselves. So like back then, the spiritual community used to really take off and they'd say, "Gaze in the sun," you know.
This
gazer,
man is so
gazer.
against that.
And they
funny
would say,
video
"Look in the
that.
mirror."
When I was laying on the hammock in the sun, I was like, gazer, gazer.
No, I'm not
But when
gonna
you
lie.
get sunlight, it does make you-
Sun-gazing. See, this is
It's not sun gaze. I wouldn't say
It's
look
just
at the
going outside to
sun,
let
but
the
just
sun
going
hit you.
outside.
No,
and get
I
some
literally
sun
be
is
looking at the
good for
sun.
you. Going out and getting sunlight is good. for you.
No, sir. Man want bad eyesight. Let's say I go and
It won't get you back. Cut. I will, but
Going outside and getting sun is good for you.
no,
It's-
good.
it's
Going.
a fact.
That's
Sun.
melanin is condensed sunlight.
What?
That's what
If I
melanin
type in melanin on Google, it's not gonna say condensed sunlight.
is. Probably not, because they don't want you to know that. But that's
That
what
man
it is.
says probably that.
Melanin is condensed sunlight. That's what it is.
How did you figure that out?
Through study and research.
What you
And
research?
it says study and research. Yeah.
It is. Melanin is condensed sunlight.
So in the human
that's why.
skin-
That's why we absorb sunlight. That's what melanin is.
Black paper absorbs sunlight, so does black clothes, but there's no melanin in this.
Exactly, but they're using the technology of melanin. That's what it is, to absorb sunlight.
So in the human skin, melagenesis is initiated by exposure to UV radiation, causing the skin to darken. melanin is an effective absorbent of light. The pigment is also able to dissipate over 99.9% of absorbed UV radiation.
Like white people don't have melanin, that's why they can't absorb sunlight. That's why they get sunburned.
It's like white paper.
Because they have no melanin, Chad.
No, they can absorb sunlight, but it's a certain extent.
Because
they don't have any. Or
they don't. I'm not saying they have 0%. Obviously, we've done so much mixed breeding and stuff. So obviously, nobody is probably complete white at this point. But
like everybody's mixed.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, so yes, they're gonna have some, but they get sunburn. Like it doesn't spread. That's why it's like sunspots. We don't get sunspots. Our skin just absorbs sunlight
until it burns. No, because I get sunburned. So my skin's not absorbing all the way. I'm
because
absorbing is too fast.
No, because our melanin is also toxic now from all the like stuff that we eat and stuff like that.
So it's not absorbing what it should.
Yeah, basically. Because we don't live on a natural planet no more. So a lot of this stuff is bad, like the GMO foods and stuff like that. So it's
majority do not know that melanin is condensed sunlight.
Yeah.
But this is from some random person on Twitter.
I mean, they probably looked it up.
I've seen her before though.
I was about to say they probably looked it up too. Melanin is. I'm not just up here talking.
Black people, the sun is so important. Yet some of you pay little attention to it. The rays of the sun unlock our DNA on a molecular level. We're going from 666 to 661, losing 5 protons, shifting from 3D to 5D. Our being is becoming lighter. Majority do not know that melanin is condensed sunlight, just like water goes from gas, liquid, solid. When the sun reaches a certain temperature, sunlight goes from electricity and magnetism, then condenses and vibrates as melanin.
I guess I'm on here to teach today.
But I just want to say to all black people who hate their blackness, literally you're doing a disservice to yourself because your melanin becomes dormant. You're literally making your body not work for you. You're speaking death to your melanin by making it dormant.
And the whole thing with the sun gazing though.
Look at this part though. If your melanin is dormant, you will not be able to unlock or access certain codes in your DNA and RNA. Shifting from 3D to 5D will not be achievable. Krakatosis makes your melanin dormant. Keep that in mind. What the hell is she talking about?
Basically said white people.
What does that have to do with melanin being dormant? If your melanin is melanin, then it should just melanin.
Yeah, but they're talking about like.
And what you mean 3D to 5D? See, that's that spiritual stuff.
The 3D is the third dimension.
But what's the
third dimension is Earth.
Yeah, and 4D is what?
4D doesn't really exist. It's like a transition period.
To what? 5D?
Yeah.
What is 5D?
I'm about to say,
explain 5D.
5D. Y'all mean like dimension?
I'm ready. What is
explain
that?
5D.
Y'all mean like dimension, like fourth dimension?
5D.
Remember that kid did a whole video on YouTube about the fourth dimension. I
did a whole essay on the fourth dimension.
And a lot of people that did it said it really makes sense. Like
5D is a state of consciousness. It's not not a place.
So what would you say 5D is?
So 5D is basically saying like like physically your body is still on the third dimension, but like mentally and like just spiritually, then you just operating like as if
you're God or something.
No, not God. You operate like a lot, because a lot of this stuff, like you just get to a point where it's like a lot of this stuff you can just see right through it. Like whenever they put out a BS article on NBC or something like that, or if you see certain garbage on the internet.
I wouldn't say that's your 5D. I would just say you're conscious of what's happening.
But that's what 5D is. When you don't get so wrapped up in worldly stuff, basically, is what's going on. Like you don't take this stuff as.
But this is where the spirituality comes from, because the spiritual community calls it 3D to 5D. Like the Bible would just say, just don't be conformed to the world. Like the world does whatever they do and you do whatever you do. Y'all just have different names for it.
That's the same thing.
I say y'all got different names.
No, they do. Like the spiritual community will say like the propaganda and the something something, and the Bible's like don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. Like I would say propaganda's Satan's devices. Y'all just call it different. Like 3D to 5D, we're just conscious. We're aware.
Yeah, because 3D, I just explained it. 3D is the third dimension. That's the Earth. That's what 3D is.
But that makes sense. But when you start getting to 5D,
like 5D,
I thought that was 2D.
5D consciousness Dylan, 2D is a flat like those old Super Mario games where it's just flat. You know what I'm saying? That's what 2D is.
But I think I said the Earth was flat.
That's the only thing
No,
I have. That's the only problem.
look up Super Mario 64 or whatever the old Mario game.
But see, that's the problem I have with the spiritual Super Mario 64.
Yeah, whatever.
The problem
the
I
flat,
have with the
is that the flat one where it's like
2D is just paper. Where
no,
you're just
yeah,
jumping
it's, yeah,
you know,
that's side to
right? You just
side.
jump
That's what 2D is.
It don't have no. It don't have any shape. You see what the shape.
Like that's
should
why
be,
it's
but
called
there's no
Super
curvature.
Mario 3D, the one for the Switch, where he can move anywhere. That's why it's called Super Mario 3.
This is basically 2D.
This is 2D, and the Super Mario 3D, the one for the Switch, is where he can move around.
3D is basically this. Well,
I know what 3D looks
Look
like.
up the
though.
new Super Mario.
I know what 3D looks
the
like,
one
though.
for the Switch.
But y'all talking about 4D, 5D.
Because 5D is not a physical.
I was thinking about like 2D, like
This
first
would
person.
be 3D.
I was thinking about 2D and 3D as like first person, second person.
No.
It's hard to it's hard to even do 2D because remember they told you don't write in second person because that's like kind of hard to actually do.
2D.
Because 2D is just a flat piece of paper.
Yeah, we just showed you, Dylan.
So
Yeah, no,
3D
I'm
is
saying
like
that.
you got a piece of
3D.
paper with this is 3D. Flat would just be 2D.
The whole
and
earth
4D is like you're omniscient.
4D is like I just said. It's a what's it called? I wouldn't say a purgatory.
So like it's
but,
like a movie theater, like 2D regular. It's just like you see it on the screen. The 3D is like it's coming out, and then
4D is
4D
just
is like
you're
they be
omniscient
having
at
all the
that
stuff like the seats and stuff.
like this. This is 4D.
No.
Like this is 4D. Like 2D would be this flat plane.
4
3D would be the actual square you can see. In 4D, you're outside of it. all looking at
4D
it.
would basically be like the astral realm, basically. It's just
That's the astro realm.
yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, it's really you can just see all the components. Of what it
Okay,
really
y'all
is.
say y'all don't think planets and stuff are real. So do y'all believe in like asteroids and stuff? But the thing is,
I
we
mean,
ain't never
asteroid
had,
is something
like,
physical.
asteroids and stuff don't even hit like that.
See,
Yeah,
and
as
5D
many
just gets
years.
stupid.
Because you don't. I just explained what it is.
no
It's
one
a. It's a. It's a vibration level that wherever your consciousness
So you
is,
believe
that's
asteroids.
Yeah, asteroids. Yeah, it's
That's-
just rocks in space.
So y'all think rocks? So y'all don't think that planets are just rocks in space?
I think planets exist, but I don't think we've gotten to them.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said
Like,
I just don't think
like
our
they
technology
may
is
be
good
out there,
enough
but the way they show a planet. Okay, I just
What
want
if
y'all to-
really we're the only life form that
I said
doesn't
that.
have technology to be able to go to different planets and everybody else is going to the different planets?
I was with you until you said the technology.
At first, I thought you was
think we're
about to
the
say,
only
"What if we're the
life
only life form?"
Period.
That's what I thought you was about to say at first.
Nah.
Yeah, we're the
Those are the
only
only ones
form.
not traveling like to different planets.
But the thing is, if we were the only ones not traveling, they
That'd
would
be
have already
wild.
come here. Because we are too like okay, if we're here on Earth and we're not the only beings that can move around and fly and make rocket ships, why would they not come to Earth? Because we're at the point where we're so advanced, we would show up to them. If they're that advanced, they can see everybody.
It's like
traveling.
9 other planets, though 8 other planets. So it's like they might just be busy on those.
So
other
let's say
planets.
somebody
They might
let's
just be-
say there's
they might
a
just be leaving this over there by the sun and the moon, and like.
let's say there's a whole colony of people
That'd be
on
wild.
Jupiter, and let's say they have advanced technology. They would know Earth they're sending out little rocket ships and stuff. They like playing games over there. Why don't we go check out see what they? Because we're already on the radar. Why would they not come? Like when people say aliens and stuff exist, to me it's like we're the only things because that's how I feel. God said what it was. But if we weren't, why would everybody be avoiding us? That doesn't make sense. Like if something else is out there, why would it not be interacting with you? Like a dog. Even if you never seen a dog before and someone said dogs exist, you would be like, a dog's out there. You would eventually run into one. It wouldn't be like the dogs are always hiding from you every opportunity
dogs
they
are
get.
always-
Well, it's not like you see everything because you don't even see the stuff that's like on Earth.
What you
But
mean?
somebody's seen it. That's what I'm saying. Everything on
What
Earth
have
that
we not
exi-
seen on
everything
Earth?
on Earth that exists, someone's discovered. And if it hasn't been discovered, it will be discovered eventually. At a certain point in time. But I'm like, if there's something else out there, there's no way that it would just say, we're just going to avoid them because their technology hasn't gotten them out of space yet.
But they said certain animals are like what's it called? Or like that.
Like what?
Like they said that. So did y'all don't believe in dinosaurs. I mean y'all don't
I
believe
had
in
slick the
planets
other
and
day when I
stuff.
was in the kitchen. I started questioning if those were real.
No, it's theories out there.
Dinosaurs could be real though.
Dinosaurs, it's like they could
Because they
be,
could
but
just
there's
be
no
evolutions.
When I go back to my Bible, there's no recollection.
He
of,
said-
there's no recollection of dinosaurs. Like it talks about
They might
their-
not be dinosaurs, but it might be like just animals, like, but they may just like have like were like adapted to this certain.
I have heard that dinosaurs was made up. I haven't done too much research on that topic, but
because like in the
I
Bible
don't think
it
with
says
dinosaurs. I think it's just animals that like adapted.
so from my religious standpoint, like it said he made the
I believe in
animals,
religion too, though.
he made the birds and everything, then he made us and we rule over them. And then there's earth and it says he created the heavens and the waters, right? Clear on that. And then he said he destroyed the earth by the flood, right? And then Noah and them on the ark, they restarted, we repopulated, and we're like at this point, right?
Okay.
And then the next time he'll destroy the earth with fire. Where in that did it say a meteor hit earth and destroyed everything that was there? There's nothing like that's what I'm saying. In like if I just go back to the Bible, I don't have to do any extra thinking. There's nothing for me to
I
be
don't
like,
have to do any
there
extra
has to be
thinking.
something like it never said at one point I sent a meteor down, it destroyed all the life that was there. It was a flood, and then it's like next time is fire. And I'm like, well, I can't really believe in dinosaurs because everybody says, oh, asteroid came from space and destroyed everything, and then it regrew and we started over.
How
and
big
I'm
would
like,
that asteroid have to be to do something like that?
it would have to be a decent. It's not that the asteroid just destroyed the Earth.
Like
it would
the
have to
impact?
hit the Earth, and then like the
I
like
guess the
nuclear radiation would just have to travel far enough, and then buildings explode, and that continues the explosion. It just keeps going. And
Imagine
going
how
and going.
crazy that would be, like if dinosaurs still existed. Like
But
we
they
really
say,
wouldn't
like,
be
they say-
like we
that was
really,
my point.
we
I was
wouldn't be able to
saying, they
really
say
do
that,
anything.
Like people say that dinosaur stuff not real, but then they say that like sea turtles and stuff.
Sea
they're,
turtles
like,
make
they say
sense.
like they're real dinosaurs.
Sea turtles make sense though because we can actually see a sea turtle, and we can actually take the age
Giant
of a sea
squids.
turtle by
They
its
say
by
that
its
giant
shell.
squids were part of like the dinosaurs and stuff.
But see, people say like the Loch Ness monster and. the
I'm not saying
giants
like
and
I'm not
megalodon.
saying like a lot. No, I'm not saying like just giant squids. Like
No,
yeah,
giant squids exist. Like people have
Yeah.
seen those, but like megalodon and stuff, they're like they were around when the dinosaurs. For me,
But
it's
they probably
like,
were like some like
They're probably
they
still
probably were
here.
like some monopolies, huh?
They're probably still because they said that we've only discovered like 2 to 3% of the ocean. It's like 70,
That's what I'm
97%
saying. Like
of
we
the
haven't
world
really
is ocean.
discovered anything. Our technology not
Let me
good
see,
enough.
'cause
it
they-
could be a
You
whole
go too
civilization
deep,
under
and
the
then
water.
the air pressure it start getting like hard air pressure. and
Don't
all
they
that
be
stuff.
saying that it's a whole civilization underwater?
Okay, look,
I
here we
believe in
go.
a lot of that stuff. Like
It says we've only
It makes
discovered
sense.
5% of the ocean, and most of it remains unexplored, uncharted,
5%
and
5%,
unseen.
bro.
So if we've only
5%.
if we only explore
It's
5%,
100
let's see
it's
how
95
much
other
of
percent.
the Earth.
95%.
This is covered by water.
stupid.
So 71% of the Earth is covered by water, and we've only explored 5% as of 2022, and it's always been water.
So it's like
And it also says 5%. The rest, so if 71% is covered, that's about 65, 60. That's 66%.
Yes.
It's that we haven't explored. It hasn't been explored. It hasn't been charted, and it hasn't been seen. So it's like
That's what it's
I'm
probably.
like,
it's-
why are we worried about what's happening up there when we have to take a ship and this stuff is like right as you
But the
walk
water
off
stuff,
land
that
into
gets
water.
that just.
It's probably
I don't
to the
think that
point where,
technology
like,
gets us
they-
when you get too
they-
deep, it gets dark and then it gets what's it called?
They can't even
The
properly
air pressure.
traverse the earth, bro. We'll never know a lot of this stuff, honestly.
Like it just doesn't make sense. Like they say dinosaurs and the Earth is hit by a meteor. There's no.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
I
no
don't-
proof of that. Anything.
That's what I'm saying.
read.
I don't think they was dinosaurs. I think they're just animals.
I think
Like,
what
regular
happened
animals.
is over time when people were here, they're trying to find reasons for why they're here, and so they've created all this stuff in their minds and built all this stuff up to put out. These are all just theories because none of this stuff really exists. They can't prove it, but they just built it all up in their mind and said this is what it is. But for me, it's like my Bible shows it
He
is.
said
It
my
is
Bible.
no, for real. Like anytime I try to think too hard about stuff, I try to go back to the Bible and it just becomes so simple.
I'm about to say a lot of this stuff, like
We overcomplicate
you can just go back to the
things.
basics, bro. With a lot of this stuff.
And that's like religion. People are like, God, it doesn't make. And I'm like, bro, you like man has overcomplicated God, like, and Jesus and all that. Like, it's so simple to understand. but people have just overcomplicated. Like we've created like now how America's so free and we've created every issue for ourselves that don't really exist.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
And it's like, why?
Well, I've always heard like it's like we living in such times of peace now to where you just create
Your own
problems.
struggles.
That it's kind of like, you know how like when you watching an anime, or even you can even say Naruto, like after the war where it was a time of peace, and it's like, okay, now that we're living in peace, that's when the art gets boring because there's no like war happening, it's nothing going on. So now we have to create inner problems.
But that's how the Romans, that's how they collapsed. They got to a point where people were equal, and then people were too free. Like our society is basically like how the Roman Empire was. It was strong, and then it eventually crumbled. And they're like, did anybody from the outside defeat it? No, Romans defeated themselves from the inside because they started doing that gender identity. They started saying this is all racist and these people hate us, and then they eventually collapsed their own society. And it's like they say, history repeats itself. We just keep repeating ourselves. But I think this is the last repeat. This is over with. Like once we get to the cycle where it's like it gets real rough, it's like it's done.
I'm not gonna lie, I think we may have to like go to war or something like that.
We already have war. We're still at war.
No, I'm talking about on U.S. soil. Like
we're
something.
still at war.
I think we're going to civil war.
Something crazy got to happen to the earth where it's like, okay, all these.
We still at war.
All
Biden got to send one, didn't he?
I'm talking about war on U.S. soil, like some big events. Dylan, there's no war on
about to happen.
Yeah,
no, it's gonna be a civil war. It's gonna be the left, everyone in this gender ideology and everything is racist, versus those who are saying just work for what you want. Like those people who say just work hard for what you want in life, and those that are like the government. We need stuff from the government. Like I told y'all in the other podcast, I said, why do people say we hate the government, tear it down? But when Roe v. Wade was overturned, they were begging the government to step back in, and it's like I thought y'all didn't like the government. That doesn't make sense to me. And those are the but then those are the same people who, when the Antichrist comes, they're gonna be like those are the same people who say God doesn't exist. Then when the Antichrist comes, they're gonna be like, that's God right there. We gotta follow him. And everybody who's like, no, don't, they're gonna be like, we gotta kill them. Because right now we're at the point where that's our, like, the people who speak truth, like, I would say we speak truth. We get censored, we get silenced, we get attacked for our views, which really benefit more people than if we went along with the mob. And then as well, it's just like, people don't think, like, if I go along with what the media's saying, the president's saying, the mob, everyone in the world is saying the same things, but these people are speaking something different. Even though I may not like it, like, that's how my brain's always been, like, everyone's saying that they like, I don't know, Transformers. But I'm like, that's not a good movie. But that's not a good example, though. It's like, you see what I'm saying? My analogies, they always be right there, and then I miss the point.
I get what you're trying to say.
Like, the world is going one way, and then I would say, like, people of God, people who are aware, are going a whole different direction. Man, but like I said, it's going to go from, you guys are big. It's going to go from, you guys are bigots, you guys have, you know, ruined society, y'all are trying to hold up the patriarchy, you guys are transphobes, to we got to kill them because they're going to mess up the status quo of what we're trying to get. But then back to your point about, like, humans are too free. The thing about humans is, in our brains, we always want a utopia. And we go, we want everything, everybody equal, everybody perfect. But then when you get to the point that everybody's equal and everybody's perfect, you always have those who decide, you know what? Why they think we're all free, we're going to try to be over them because we need some power.
You know what I thought?
It's always going to be a cycle.
You know what I thought was pretty cool? That, like, overseas, not like overseas, but like in different countries, it's like no tax on goods and stuff.
If you go to Texas, I don't think it's any state tax. So, like, when you go pay for stuff,
is that flat price?
It's just the price.
That
it's
is
something.
What makes
it's like no income tax.
Something
that makes the most sense.
Said
if they take away
but
tax,
they say the property tax in Texas
pay.
is dumb high.
They can lower like pay and lower something else.
Texas does not have an individual income tax.
Yeah, but the property tax is dumb high. So they gonna get their money one way or another, but
it makes sense, like, honestly.
But no, the property tax, that's why it's
low key.
Food
and stuff with no tax.
Because they was like, it's getting dumb hard to get a house in Texas, low key, like to get like real estate and stuff, because it's a what's the word?
Yeah.
The housing market going crazy right now, so it's like hard to get into one.
That makes sense.
But yeah,
I heard that houses been skyrocketing lately though.
It's gonna crash.
I mean that's everything. Like,
Probably by
They said that's
fall, we're
like
gonna have
on
such
one
an
of the-
economic crisis that people are gonna stop being out here talking about abortions and.
but that's what I'm saying.
Transphobic.
Something so crazy got to happen to where stuff like what gender are you just don't even matter, bro. It's got to be something.
I watched a podcast and a lady was like, "I think food shortages are good because it would stop people from like protesting the street about stuff that doesn't actually matter." Like people would rather go in the street and protest abortion or protest this law or gun laws than say, "Why is inflation 9.1% now? Why are groceries double the price? Why is this like that?" It's like, why are we focused on stuff that doesn't matter?
Bro,
Like like we're arguing about privilege stuff. Like it's like privileges. Like
Is
you
this
have the
one
privilege to drive.
clip? Is this one clip that Soul Illuminati had to where he was talking about? It was one girl who it was one of the girls who had got killed or whatever, and he was like, "Y'all protesting over stuff that don't matter." That clip was so hilarious, bro. I'm gonna have to find it because I screen recorded it. But basically, he was saying y'all protesting about stuff that don't matter when there's more serious stuff going on.
But that's because America's too free. When you think about it, do you see the only thing I've seen other countries protest about is China. Their banking system is like, okay, the banks over in China, they're not letting people withdraw their own money from the banks.
I mean, that happened to Boosie though, when he was at the bank trying to withdraw. Like he was only trying to withdraw like $2,500, and they were like not letting him get his money out. They were like, "Nah, we gotta call and make some stuff." He's like, "I can't get my own money out the bank."
That's what CGA was talking about, low key. He said it's a movie that shows that. I forgot what it's called. Is it called like The Big Short?
But
It's
banks,
happening
but
in
banks
Sri
can do that. That's why they say don't put your money in banks.
But yeah, that's what they.
In France,
banks are like.
they're protesting right now with food shortages.
It was like.
But if I tell people here to stock up, they're like,
You've been telling folks to stock up since like 2019.
yeah,
That is
I've been
facts.
saying that. I be stocking up myself.
I've been saying like not even stocking up the
I
food,
just
but
do the
like
work.
have stuff like in case like electricity go out, stuff like that, Wi-Fi. Lights.
People in the city is gonna be going crazy if the power were to go out in the city for let's say 2 days.
Yeah.
The city would be in
If it went out for
such
they would be
chaos.
People would be going the highways.
They don't
would
even
be
know how to take
awful.
care of themselves.
It's gonna be. It's
It
gonna
wouldn't
be.
even people wouldn't even think
it's gonna be
like
guns
It's gonna be
blazing.
purged. It's gonna be purged. We gonna have that
man said it's
lockdown.
gonna be guns
If I were to
blazing.
move or get my own spot, I would move to a rural area because it's not any city folks. People out in the rural areas, they actually like your neighbors take care of you. They mind their business. You actually are cool with them. No one's all nosy. If you need to go to your neighbor, you can always go to them. They more than likely have a farm. They don't care about what's being produced in the stores anyway. Like literally my dream is to be in Texas with my cowboy hat, my mustache that's curled on the ends. I go hunting and mudding. I have ATVs. My wife, she fixes me
Yeah, I
food.
want an ATV
She
too.
brings me drinks, and I have a whole bunch of kids, and they all know how to shoot by like 7.
How many acres you on? This man trying to have a little.
I want like at least like 5.
This man want a whole little derby track in the back.
Yeah, I want to set up little target practice and everything. We'll be out there really going crazy.
This ain't
See,
big.
and that's another spiritual thing. I hate when the spiritual community says, love yourself. if anybody gets in the way of you, cut them off. It's about love yourself. And then I go back to my Bible, and it says, like, hold on, I'm going to show you guys the verse. And I'm going to show you, like, we
can't
live in
find
the
the
end
clip.
times.
That's not the clip that I was thinking about. That jump was so funny.
I don't even think it's about loving yourself. I think it's about not like talking down on yourself.
It is about loving yourself, but when people say it, sometimes it gets
Right.
corny because it just sounds.
You just can't be
it
down on
sound-
yourself all the time. Like that's what I think of me by love yourself. I don't know though. Let us know what y'all think.
Dang, bro, I want to find it so bad because it's so funny, bro. But no, I did want to talk about that sun gazing
Look.
junk though, because
Let me see.
you better pull something up. No, cause that sun gazing junk, that junk do help. I'm not gonna lie, cause for one, the sun energizes you. For one, that's one, and two, like what you gotta do is you gotta do it in the morning or like at night, like so when the sun is first rising or when it's starting to set. That's when you want to get out there and sun gaze, cause that's when the sun is not shining bright. Like you got to look at the weather app. Like it shows
So you believe in moon gazing?
It show
too?
you the moon is fake. So if you
The
moon
moon
gaze,
does give off light though.
Bro said the moon is fake.
If you moon gaze, you'll just be looking at something that's artificial. But
so this is what the Bible says. Now I wouldn't try to just. You don't even have to believe in the Bible. Look, I'm gonna read this, and you tell me if this is not the people today. But mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days, because we live in the end times. Like everybody around us sees how, I guess how wicked and how chaotic it is. So it says, but mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves. Don't care about nobody else. Love yourself. Love yourself. Lovers of themselves. Lovers of money. Boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents. We see kids not obeying their parents. They rather obey teachers. Ungrateful, unholy, without love. Teachers. Everybody says, I don't love nobody no more. I'm cold now. I'm cold. I cut everybody off. Unforgiving. No one forgives people nowadays. If you say something, you're a bigot. They hate you. You're canceled. Slanderous, without self-control. Brutal, not lovers of the good. Everything good now is evil. Treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power.
No, the only thing that I feel like has changed, like good, like to bad, is like the dating game. Not like that, but
this man,
that's without love, right there. Without love.
No, not like that, but it's just like how like what attracts girls nowadays. Like not even attracting girls, but like
that's because girls have gotten out of their
mentality.
Role.
It's like mentality is way different. Like
we really
didn't change from something as simple as high school to.
We created a world now to where if you really want to be honest, you don't need each other. Like you really don't.
But the thing is, God created man and woman to need each other. He said. Because God created women for men and men for women. And this is how you know. When he created Adam, he said, it's not good for man to be alone. So I'm going to put Adam to sleep, take his rib, make a woman. And then if the woman is his rib, then the woman should know Adam, care for Adam. She's an extension of Adam.
Well, here's the thing. That's when you get into like... that's what yin and yang is. I mean, everybody has a masculine and feminine. Like we're naturally androgynous beings. Like everybody has feminine and masculine energies. But the thing is that physically nowadays we don't necessarily need each other. Like women, they don't necessarily like if a woman is making
men need women. Women need men.
No, not really.
Saying,
but
though, like,
I mean,
you would never be complete without a girl.
I'm saying I'm not.
You're just talking about saying like in general.
I'm saying physically, like that's
why
that's
they're
where
lovers of selves.
I was about to say I'm talking about physically because that's where their mindset is. Like physically, like a girl nowadays, right? She can have if she make money, right? She has an apartment. If she lives in an apartment that has 24-hour security, she doesn't need any man for protection when she gets home. She had, like I said, she has her own money now. She can do this. She can Uber Eats. They really don't even have to go outside. They can have an Uber Eats and tell somebody to bring their food to the apartment or whatever.
I mean, I guess that's if they wanted to.
If they wanted to, but what I'm saying is we don't necessarily need, like women don't necessarily need men, like need to have a one man for survival. Like back in the day, like where times was different and like it was more natural, I guess you could say.
I'm about to say it's not even the.
But see, keep on doing.
I was just saying that was like normalized, like people just.
That's because back in the day they didn't complicate things. Nowadays, like I said, we're too free.
I always question.
Overthink stuff back in
during slavery, what was it?
Like
the man has to work. The woman's probably either like out in the field picking or she's in the house. And on top of that, most slaves, like after slavery ended and during slavery, most people were married. They were married on the slave plantation with kids. Now, whether they got separated, that's not the point. But they were married. The man knew I gotta take care of my family. Massa, I just gotta try to do what Massa asked me to. After we got out of slavery, the marriage rate between blacks after slavery was at least 80 to 90%. Then at a certain point, they said, here's welfare. Then the women start getting on welfare. Then they stop being with the men. Then the men stop being there. And it's just like complete chaos.
That man got a book on feminism.
And feminism said, you don't need a man. You don't need a man. Just love yourself.
They basically just said, instead of your man, they bet the government is their man now.
And they their own man. Like when women say, I got my own money. I can do it for myself. It's like, no matter how much you say that and you believe it in your head, you will always need a man. Like a man will always need a woman and a woman will always need a man. Because she can't, like,
But I think that
women get to a certain point, and then what do they have? Career or what? Just like you either have a career, you have a family. Men get to a certain point where you have all these riches, you got all the money, but you still empty. You don't have no family, you don't have no lineage, you don't have nothing to give nobody. You just die in there.
I just don't think that women should depend on men.
That's not what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
It's not that they depend on them, but you know that you
depend on
need
them, but
one.
they know that they do need one eventually.
Like if you're a woman who's
it's good that they know how to do stuff on their own though.
But that's what everybody should teach them, right? Like if you raise, let's say you have a girl and you raise a girl, you should teach her. If you're her father, you should be in her life, but you should also show her the love to where if she doesn't have a boyfriend or a man at the time, she knows my dad always got me. He showed me how to be loved. That's why you need two parents in the house. And then on top of that, a woman's got to know how to do woman stuff like cook. Now, I'm not saying women stay in the kitchen, but it's important that a woman does her, like she's made to nurture. So it's like, why would she go and do the opposite of her nature? God didn't create her to take care of the bills, provide, be the strong one in there, make the masculine decisions.
I'm not gonna lie, like I have no problem. I agree with you saying like, oh, women should cook or whatever. But it's like, honestly, like women sometimes I just feel like it'd be better if like I just cook or something.
If you want to cook, that's fine.
Cause I feel like
he said it's better.
I feel like it's good.
Then cook,
like, I'm about to say I be cooking sometimes. I'm not
so cook. Nobody saying don't.
Like
cook.
for a man, I mean you can.
I feel like it's more good. Like,
but the only reason that
cook,
was
like faster. Like we get to like shit to the point. Like,
that's the only reason it's like that because when the man
cook, like, I don't have a problem
when the man was out working, when he came home, he didn't want to come home and cook. That's where the woman came in. She would already have that stuff prepared for the man.
Yeah, I guess it would be good to like have it like. Oh, it's like warm like, in the oven or
and
something.
The whole
but
point
it'd be
is,
like,
if your wife was a house, like, okay, here's my perception.
Well, I'm saying I'm not saying it like every day. I'm saying like you just come in. It's like
no. If I would do like Mima, like when she said her dad came home from work, and if there wasn't food on the table, he was mad. And that's how I would be if my lady was a house.
That's how I would
like
be.
if she was a housewife. And I made sure she was good. She didn't have to lift a finger. Whatever you.
But then I think that's like they're gonna be cooking because they bored. Like.
But your woman at that point would take care. She would take care of laundry. She would take care of everything that you forget about. Men forget about certain things. So she would be you're supposed, bruh. God made women to be a helpmeet. That's the whole point. It's not even because like okay, look, I'm gonna explain something. So when Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, right, and they say Adam bit the apple, right. Well, Eve bit the apple, then gave it to Adam, and he bit the apple, right? Who did God call first? He said, Adam, where are you? He didn't say, Eve, where are you? He said, Adam. So automatically, all the responsibility goes to Adam. Then Adam has to address Eve, but he had to address God first. So after she bit the apple, because the snake deceived her, then she gave it to Adam, he bit it too. God didn't go, Eve, where are you? Devil, why are you here? He went, Adam, where are you? That automatically off rip shows that the man first, and he has the direct link to God, and then your girl has to know God too, so she can trust that you're listening to God and not the devil. That's how it's supposed to work, right? It's so simple.
And assist you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and assist you.
But I mean,
But you
that's
assist
the whole thing.
Dylan is so RP that.
No, I'm just saying that's the whole thing with today's society.
I'm feeling like Dylan low key, like Dylan. He's to the point.
Bro.
I don't
talk to yourself. You ain't always trying to like talking for other people with his own thoughts.
Because I feel like
talk with your own thoughts. I'm saying the only thing that I think has changed is now women just maybe want more power in relationships than the man has.
Like Dylan, are you saying? Well, you haven't said anything really, but
exactly.
like, what do you? Okay, well, that's why I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think like a man? Because like women, they always, they be like, oh, I need a man to do this before I even give him a chance. So would you say that you don't like the fact that like are you saying you don't really want to do nothing, like not nothing, but do you not want to go above and beyond for
I'm about to say, when did you even get this?
No,
this
I'm asking a question. I'm not saying this is what you said. I'm asking a question.
I never go beyond
above and beyond, because they be like, oh, he gotta have this amount of money.
What am I trying to do though? Like if I'm trying to,
if you was trying to marry,
if I'm trying to get to know her, I'm gonna treat her like a normal girl.
If you was trying to marry her, or like being
treat her nice and stuff. Now if you just like doing stuff that's,
but I'm saying like if she said, why you didn't buy me this bag or something like that,
no, I'll be like, I wouldn't even be dealing with that.
But that's
You do with it?
No, but I was saying
If you find a girl
If you have
who
a
is
good-
exactly what I described, she won't be asking for
that's
that.
what I'm saying. You
Not
just
even
want
that,
to
you
do,
find a
but
girl
at the end of the
that,
day,
like,
like,
yeah, I was about to say,
you
she's not
just
gonna
want
be asking for that,
you want to
but-
do
And
stuff.
You
then
know
for
the
her.
girl, like, bro, you like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
girls
gonna be like-
nowadays are real modern and they ask for traditional men, and it's like, but you're not traditional yourself. And men be traditional, or some men are traditional asking for traditional women, and then some are modern men asking for a traditional woman. And it's like, bro, you can't be modern as a man and ask for a traditional woman. Already, you're unequally yoked. It's not gonna
This
work.
man been listening to Myron.
No, like Myron said it, but I'm bringing it back to the Bible. I'm bringing it back to the Bible.
He been low key listening to Fresh
because if
Fit.
you're not equally yoked, like if you have a girl and y'all have separate values, it'll never work. No matter how bad she is, no matter how much coochie she gives you, it's never gonna work because you don't have the same values. Like you have to be equally yoked. You can't be like even friendships. You can't be unequally yoked in a friendship and expect y'all to be friends. Now
But
you can agree to disagree.
But here's the thing, though. You can be here's the problem. You can be equal, but that equal doesn't have to look the same. For example, a girl will say, "I make 50,000, so my man got to make 50,000." I don't think that's equal. Like y'all don't have to do exactly the same things to be equal. You get what I'm saying?
No, but that's not what I mean by that.
Yeah, I know,
No,
but
I
I'm
know
saying
what you're
that's how
saying.
girls like. If I do this, then my man gotta exactly have this or more.
If my girl made more money than me, I don't think that she would. I don't think it would be a problem if she knows her role. Then money would never play a factor. It would just be like, we have money. Now I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I see what
unless
you're
she's
saying,
making
though.
so
If we
much
both-
buku
if we
bread,
both-
I don't
if
have
we-
to do nothing. But I would do stuff.
If we both hustling, then it's like if you get money, then you just get money, and then when I get money, I get money, and then we both getting money. You know,
Yeah, we getting money.
I might
but-
be getting money, you not getting money. It's like, but we still good. You know, I'm getting money. That's how I
But,
look at it. But it's like
but there's problems
we
that
gotta
comes.
both have our own stuff too on the slick. So
There's problems that comes when two parents in a household are both like going like go-getters or entrepreneurs or whatever, to the point where it's like it's not gonna be I don't know if you can really sustain a family when both of y'all are really out there like
But
that.
you have
not
to.
out
But
there
you have
like
to make that
but you have
known.
like a
You have
business
to.
mindset.
you have to-
That's what you're trying
But you have to
like-
come together and be like, do we want a family? One of us has a real strong
Somebody
career.
gonna have to
or
step
one
back.
of us has a business, or do
gotta
we
be
both
both.
want to pursue our businesses? Now, if you're doing that, eventually it's the roads between y'all just gonna get further.
'Cause
and
that's
further.
when you
'Cause
start-
Everybody's kind of focusing on
I'm about to say
themselves.
that's how when you start hiring nannies and chefs and all this,
And
then
then
you
your
don't
kids
really
not-
have a real family. Like that's not.
Yeah, you
the
just have a whole
ideal.
bunch of hires.
Yeah, that's
So you
not.
don't think that you got a real family and just have a chef that cooks for you?
I'm not saying
No,
that
no,
you can't have a
he's
chef, but I'm
saying-
saying
he's saying
like
if
when
you
both
have-
of y'all are so busy to the point where you not even seeing your kids, you off doing your business, she off doing hers,
Y'all meet up
and
at
then they're
night
like,
sometimes
oh,
and be like, oh, we're here,
oh,
we
I
sleep
forgot,
together.
we do have kids, so let's hire a nanny, let's hire a babysitter, let's hire a chef, let's
so do y'all
hire.
think that? Well, not even like. So do y'all think that like
Somebody's gotta
the
take the
smartest
back seat.
move? No, I'm saying like the smartest move for like families and stuff would be to like own businesses.
I think the smartest move for a family would be whatever y'all incomes are,
Honestly.
cool, but y'all would both have to say we either live in our means or below our means, even if you make more money, and we both can't try to be it can't all be about you. Like Kim and Kanye. Kanye does Kanye, Kim has Kim's own stuff. But at a certain point it started to interfere because it's like Kanye's doing Kanye.
Nah, I don't even think it was
I-
that. I think that started going
I
downhill
think-
because Kim just.
I think the
I think Kim's
ideal,
unmarriable, but that's beside
the
the
That's what I'm
ideal
saying. At this
thing
point,
would
I've
be.
been seeing her with so many people.
I gotta stop with
going,
my
like,
analogies. They
The
are-
ideal thing would be for you to have your business and your girl is helping you with whatever you got going on.
That's
That
it.
way, it's not like she's still working, but instead of working for
So I
the
got a question,
government,
I got a
she's
question.
working
That's not
for
for
you.
So
every-
would you be like, oh, like, not even a question, but your girl be like, okay, I've been helping you with this business all along. Like, are you gonna compensate, or you think that she's just gonna do it, or you think that she's gonna be like,
I think
You
a
could-
good-
you
I
could-
think
she
or
a
you
could-
think that,
she
like,
could-
or do you think that it's gonna work out because
I think
she's
a
gonna want
woman-
to help you?
You
because
could
she just
employ
wants to
her
help
if
your
that's what
business?
I think a woman that's right for you, if you have, let's say you have one with the C and it's going crazy, and your girl is like, she handling everything that you didn't even think you needed to handle. She making sure you have the LLC. She helping you do this, helping you reach out and brand. Then it's meant to flow. Now, if at a certain point she goes like, oh, I think I want to start my own thing, you would have no problem helping her out because you're already established and you're not trying to overshine her. You're like, you know what? I did get my business. You helped me out. I'm gonna get you to where I am. Or I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna fund you, make sure you good, and then we'll both have our business. But at that point, you did it in a route that's not everybody's selfishly going after their own stuff, and then you kind of like disregard the in between, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying,
but I also think
So
that
what are
it
you
depends
saying?
on the girl. Like some girls would be like, "I'm down to help you with whatever."
Yes.
I don't have to be the starlight. I can just be
That's
there
what I
for
was-
you.
that's
Like,
what I was
I like-
saying. I was
like-
Because a
I was
good
like,
man's
like-
always gonna say.
I was like, some girls
wouldn't
just gonna
think
be
that.
Like I like
oh,
my
I'm trying
boy
to help
Cole.
you.
Like my boy Cole, no cap Cole. He the shoe reseller. He his girl, she would do like she would handle his she had made like a little spreadsheet to show like what shoes, like his inventory of the shoes. Whenever he does his videos, sometimes she'll like record his videos, like when he out doing sneaker pickups or whatever, like recording his vlogs. Like she'll do his vlogs, and she just help him with his stuff. And she also, I don't know where she works, but I think she does do stuff separately too. But when he needs stuff, I mean, like I said, she do his inventory for
Plus,
his
I
shoes
think God
and
made
stuff
women
like
has
that.
helped me. I think, like all jokes aside, I think genuinely if women helped out their man, not like you gotta help me, but they just helped him
Yeah,
out
she just
just to
naturally-
make him a better man.
I think that
I think they would
automatically. I
actually
think that
get more
automatically.
enjoyment and more pleasure out of doing it.
I think that women automatically want to do that if they have a man.
But a
that
lot of
like
women
that.
nowadays are brainwashed to think, because of feminism, to think, well, it's not wrong
Yeah,
for
but I
women
think
to
that
have
for
their
the
own
right
stuff.
for women, for the right dude, will be doing that.
I think
They'll do
like
it.
when I see a woman, when I see women tweet, men nowadays they get mad because you won't submit, and I'm like, bruh, women are supposed to be submissive anyway. There should be no off and on switch. I get it, like you could turn it off and on, but that's like a man being like, I'm only masculine when a woman's submissive.
This
Like,
man really been listening to Fresh and Fit, bro.
no, I haven't. I'm just saying, that's like in my brain, I'm like, why are women even saying he needs to show me I can submit? Don't be with that man.
No, 'cause
you should be submitted in the first. You should
Yeah,
be
you
submissive
should
in the
be.
first
You
place.
should.
That's
Because
your.
y'all probably know girls that are naturally feminine, bro. They probably never act like
girls,
I know
say,
I know girls personally
All
like
girls
that's
do the
never
same
masculine.
thing. All girls do the same thing though. Like for the right person, they can be feminine. It's not gonna
No,
be.
but
no,
I'm talking about
I'm saying
period.
I
They
know
don't need the
girls.
right person.
I
They're
know
just
girls
feminine.
that are just feminine. If she gets done wrong, she just gets done wrong. But she don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna turn into a demon now." She don't do that. She just say, "Okay,
Most girls that are real feminine though be having boyfriends all the time.
exactly."
Because the dudes know, like you know, girls who you know are real feminine, and you know girls who do too much. And I'm not saying you can't do too much. I mean, there's probably a man out there who likes the too much, but
I think it just.
that's-
I think it just varies.
But it's
Like,
just how you. It's just how you were made.
That's
man.
one thing,
Like,
like-
men are meant to be masculine. You take like okay. Like if you go out with your girl to eat and she's like, you like, what do you want to eat? Girls are indecisive. Some may not be. They may be like, I like this. I don't want that. I don't want
You
that.
just gotta
As a
take
man,
charge,
you
say,
just
"This
tell
where
them where you going.
This where we eating."
And then if they don't like it, it's like you should have
That's
talked up.
what that's what I always thought, because
I think that's
dudes
common sense.
dudes they be getting mad. They be like, "Tell me what you want."
And I'm like, why are you even doing
Bruh, go where you want to go, and if she don't want to eat, if she don't gotta eat that, and if she do like something, then she gonna get some. 9 times out of 10, even if she don't get some, if you order something, she probably gonna nibble off what you got, and that's gonna be that. But you don't gotta. Why don't you tell me what you want to eat? Like,
Yeah,
bruh,
man.
just go where you want to go.
It's already, like I said,
Because that's
people
what they
making
be
it too
doing.
complicated.
That's
They're
what they
making it
be
too complicated.
doing.
We can't both be indecisive. So as a dude, you just gotta take
Like,
charge.
this what
Now
we-
your girl sometimes may be like, I want to go here, and it's like, that's where we going.
Yeah,
Or you be
could-
like, no.
Or you'd be
We're going
like-
somewhere
Sometimes you
different.
gotta say no, but if it just been.
You can say no, but most times it's just like,
but
you
I'm
don't
saying-
even care. As a dude, you don't really care until she can't make up her mind.
That's why you be like, you can take it into like, all right, what you got a taste for today, and if she say, I don't really know exactly where I want to go, but I want this type of food, and then you be like, all right, we going here then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so simple. It doesn't need all the extra. That's on like.
I mean, as long as we eating, I don't see no problem.
As a dude,
a lot of dudes, bro, we don't really care about a lot of stuff, bro. We
about
just
to say,
trying
we
to
can make a decision where we going.
we just
but
trying to
don't
get
care
to
where
the
we going.
destination,
Yeah.
bro. Like, it just be too much. Like, a lot of people be trying to do too much with it. I don't know.
I just feel like girls are help me. Like it's just natural.
Yeah.
It just flows. Like when you find a girl who helps you out, it's like, dang, she really just helping me out. and then you start feeling
said,
good.
"Dumbass,
You start
yeah,
working
yeah,
harder,
yeah.
and then you make sure she good. It's like,
But the thing,
no,
they be like, dudes don't like. They be like, okay, like dudes, they don't do this for girls. They don't do that. But the thing is, like, when a man, like, when he feel like he has a girl that's really for him, you don't even have to ask him to do stuff. He just gonna naturally want to do stuff and buy you stuff. Like you won't even have to ask him, can you buy me this bag? You just may be in the store and be like, oh, she been doing this for me. She been doing that. She may like this bag, or she was eyeing this bag or whatever. I'ma just buy it for her just because you know she was.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you do it though.
I'm not saying she commanding you to do something.
Well, no, I'm just saying like nah.
if a girl tells you, why don't I get flowers? It don't make me want to buy it. Because then it's like, I'm just doing it to shut you up, and at that point it's not genuine. Or like,
but if it's like I never bought her flowers like one time,
That's a
and it's been
difference.
like a lot, like I've been talking to her for a long time, they be like, all right, like I see your point, but it's like I still might not buy them. I still might not buy them right then. Like I might still wait. No, I'm saying I still might wait a little bit. Like,
but I also feel like men though, we could do a better
but if it's
job.
like I'm in the store and then it's like some flowers and then like I never bought them flowers and then they're like, oh, it's some flowers. Oh, you never bought me flowers. I'm like, go ahead and get you a flower.
All right, player. But I think as men though, we could do a better job. Like, I would say probably taking charge and also like vetting better. Like if every man were to be like, I'm not doing the nasty until I got married, I bet you a lot of like all the feminism and stuff would probably stop. And on top of that, the vet of the women would be so good.
Women would be acting right.
I think girls would have to do that, honestly. Like, I think girls would say, I'm not giving nothing up.
Nah, see, that don't work too good. That don't work too good with dudes.
It will work, because
like,
if they
would have to say, the dude would have to be like, nah, like, I don't want to do nothing. It make her submissive. She would always be trying to do it. It would keep her in a good state, I think. If the dude was like, because even if you're doing that, like, if a
that
dude
makes sense, but if
a dude is doing stuff for the girl and he'd be like, I just want to take a break or something.
Well, I think that's a good way for
my
for
scenario.
women. But it depends on if the woman's like, if you're waiting to marriage and you're just like, what are you waiting to marriage for? If you're like religious or that's what you want to do, or you just want to be celibate and it's like, I'm just waiting to marriage, then it helps girls vet out, this dude only wants me for this. Because if he can't wait until marriage or so, then it is what it is. But as a dude, if you don't want to wait until marriage, then you know that's not the girl for you. But if you do and you're willing to do it, like, one of Isaiah's homies, he was dating a girl and she was like, she was like super Christian. Not like that's an actual thing, but she was like, she's against the gays, all that. So like she was like, we're waiting to marriage. So he got engaged to her. So he's finna get married, but I don't know how long they were dating, but like
I'm about to say, because then the reason I say
they say women that wait to marriage actually find more pleasure in bed. Like they like.
Yeah, cause they not ran through. They able to pair hard.
I feel like dudes should do it because dudes have to propose. That's the only reason I feel like it. Because some dudes might just propose. She said, I want to wait till marriage. Some dudes you might wait a month and be like, dang.
Well, I just go back to the Bible. It's like if you have a good woman and you're like, should I propose? Should I not? It says like it's better to marry than just like not. Like it's better to have someone that you can try to work through things with than to not.
So how can dudes do a better job at vetting girls?
I think dudes need to realize what their values are. Like guys can't just be out here and be like, we just wait. Like any woman could come along as long as she sleeps with me, or as long as she can do like something so basic that a woman should be doing anyway. It's like, you don't know, bro.
That was very vague.
I'm about to say this analogies and then be like,
like for me, it's like. I think men would just have to go to God, like, and just they have to be.
I think you gotta know what you want, like
they have to be linked to a higher power. Otherwise, man goes corrupt.
It's certain stuff that I be looking at, bro. Like a lot of stuff is just not attractive, bro. Like for me personally, like I don't want like, not saying that girls. Okay, basically like with Instagram models and junk like that. Well, not even Instagram models, but cute girls that you would see on Instagram, they may have like weave and they got all these nails and lashes. Like low key, I want a natural girl off rip. So for like taking serious purposes,
how natural do you mean?
Like it's her hair.
I'm saying it gotta be.
I don't care if girls do what they want with their hair. If they have naturally good hair too, like they be like, I'm tired of my natural hair.
I guess
I don't want to do it right
hair
now.
may
like,
not be that big of a
or they
deal.
get their nails done. It's like
But like
Girl, get your
super,
nails done.
but
Now,
super long nails,
now, I was
like
about to say,
super long nails.
I am like more for the just wear your natural nail and they'll get long. Cause nails grow fast. So I'm
And
like,
then the
you wear your
super
natural
thick
long.
eyelashes.
Eyelashes, I don't care.
No, the super thick eyelashes, that looks a little ridiculous to me.
It depends on how
That's
thick and
like
how
super
big they
thick.
get. But they just getting some like regular eyelashes.
No,
like,
because I've seen girls they get their eyelashes done, but it's not super thick. You
yeah,
get what I'm
some
saying?
girls
It's
be-
not
yeah,
the
some
super
girls be
thick
getting the
ones.
Oh, they were
Super.
flying away.
Yeah, like that look crazy.
The eyelashes,
to me.
I think that's
And makeup
fine,
too. I don't like a lot of makeup personally.
Now, if
so-
you can put on all the rest, like if you get your eyelashes done, your nails done, but you don't have to wear makeup, like you just don't even wear makeup, like I'll be like, okay. But
I think I'm like Malcolm X.
That still look good to me.
When I read Malcolm X's book, because he was like he used to have like a perm or a comb. He used to do his hair, and he used to be into white women. And he was like, eventually I stopped being white. You know, Malcolm X was really against the white people, but then he eventually came around to like we're all equal.
So-
But the girls, he was like, he said in his book like he thinks that black people should stop trying to add extra accessories to seem like valuable. Like, don't wear weave, wear your natural hair. Don't wear eyelashes, wear your natural lashes. You don't have to wear makeup. Just wear your regular, like just have your regular skin tone out. And dudes, just be natural too. Like he was like, we do too much to where you fall in love with like a facade. Like, how people say makeup is like witchcraft because you can look like a totally
Well, it
different
is.
person.
But then they can say girls say the same thing about dudes with haircuts.
But that's a
haircut is
natural
different.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
the thing.
If haircuts never existed, they just take us as we were. They wouldn't say nothing.
That's the thing. Like you
But
can't
weave
use
is
that.
like,
You can't use
you
stuff.
added extra hair that's
you,
not yours.
I was about to say you can't
Some dudes
use.
do that little laser, and then a lot of dudes when they get haircuts, they get that little spray junk
That's
on their hair.
Like, you can't use- you can't-
That's a barber 101.
I'm about to-
You bring out no spray, bro. You better have a good
You can't
haircut.
reverse the same logic on men because even if you say a man got a haircut, he didn't add anything on.
I say that's what
he's
they be
taking it
saying. That's
away.
what they be saying.
Yeah, but that's not a good argument because that's not the same thing as adding. Now, if you said the guy, like you were saying, he sprayed on the hairline or whatever, that could be the same thing. But just simply getting a haircut is not the same thing because it's still our hair. Like, it's our natural hair.
I think girls can look good natural, and then they want to do stuff, and they still look good.
Like, I literally had
do
a
what they
girl.
want.
I
That's
had
what
a
I'm saying.
girl.
They
She
can do what
said
they
she
want.
was
That's
like,
what they wanna
I
do.
don't have no lashes. I look like a boy. I'm like, how do you look like a boy? That's your natural lashes. Like, that's what a girl's supposed. Like, they don't even know what a girl supposed to look like nowadays.
They don't even know what a woman is anymore.
She was like, she said, I look like a boy. I don't got no lashes. I'm
Matter of
like,
fact, I think my YouTube video on this dude was like, because this lady, because of the Roe v. Wade thing, he said, his name was Josh Hawley, and he was like, so I hear you calling women now pregnant people and they have the capacity for pregnancy. And he's like, so are you talking about women? And she's like, cisgendered women, trans men, and non-binary people can all get pregnant. He was like, so this isn't a woman's
That's the
rights
thing
issue.
now. That whole movement is kind of weird to me.
It's anti-God, bro. It's
the
anti-Christ.
said it.
and the they movement, like they, and it's
anti-Christ.
one person, like one person is they.
I don't
And
even-
that's kind of weird.
I don't even
It's like
understand the pronoun. I don't even
they
try to
pushing it
understand
so hard. It would be different if they weren't pushing it hard, but now every show,
Just like-
commercials even be pushing it, like pushing like all that stuff like too much, and it's like, bro, like
Just like the trans
people
community.
back, not even that, but like back in the day, if someone was and it was just like they were, like people probably knew, but it was like, all right, they weren't even trying to push it in your face. Now it's just like, whoa,
That's
like,
why pride parades is like, I get what they're trying to do, but it's like you're making sexuality your whole identity. Because like you're having a parade about your sexuality. Do you see?
and most people day to day, they don't care. Like that's what they want to do.
Then,
They
yeah.
let them do it. Like go ahead.
I
and
feel
do
like
that.
I feel like
They want you to
I feel-
bow down to the
they-
agenda.
Most people don't care.
They want you to
Like,
get on your knees and beg. That's what they want you to do.
How often do you usually come across people that be like, well, people probably be like I don't fuck with it, like don't like try me, like
they
try
may
me,
say
but
that,
most
but
times
they
people
like
be
we
like,
cool with it.
yeah,
Like,
like people be like they cool, but just don't
Do
like
what you
try
wanna
me.
do.
Yeah, like just don't.
yeah,
try
most
like
people
that
like
person.
I don't see like gay people or whatever like really getting beat up in the streets and stuff. Like, do you
They don't
really
have it
do you
no
really
more.
see that? Like,
Maybe
back in the
maybe
day.
back in the day. But I'm
yeah,
saying
back in the
nowadays,
day.
like if somebody gay, like if you go to Lenox Mall, you gonna see a gay person walking. Like they not getting beat up just walking in the mall. Like, all right,
That'd be wicked.
he doing whatever he doing, but at the end of the day, that don't affect me. Like, okay, he gay. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
But you ain't gotta accept me.
my Bible says something different, but they've also changed the flag, like the rainbow flag. The rainbow's
what
supposed
they
to
wanna
signify God won't flood the earth again. they changed that to be all about sexuality. Like when you see somebody, like if you go to people's, this is how you know people are going with the world. If you go to their Instagram bio or Twitter bio and they have they, them, he, she, he, him, if they have any pronouns in their bio, off rip, I already know they're probably an activist or some type of social justice warrior. And you will see
That's
like,
a social justice
no,
warrior.
anybody who has pronouns in their bio, you already know they're with the world. They're going to go along with whatever the world says. It's all anti-Christ. What if you look like I don't understand. Like you look like a dude. Why you need to put he, him in as your pronouns? Like when did we start doing that? This all happened within the last 2 years. Like Biden was president. Now
Why did they even add that on
stuff
Instagram?
started.
I was confused.
That messed up the whole dating game and stuff. Like folk over here getting surgery done, taking out his medicine. And
But the trans community, they actually said that. Like, okay, there's this trans. Oh my bad, but let me finish this real quick. There's this trans woman, so it's a man that transitioned to a woman who says they only date straight men, and it's like, what? That doesn't compute.
So they really out here trying to confuse folks.
The trans community.
That's what I don't mess with.
The trans community would have completed their mission goal when straight dudes date trans women and say this is a heterosexual relationship. That's the end goal. When they say that, they've completed their goal because at that point, that's considered straight too. So then it's just going to be a mix of men that are now women in the dating pool.
That joke is scary.
That's scary. I'm very for real. And next is pedophilia. They're going to say pedophile is accepted because what's the difference in saying I feel like a boy inside, so I'm a girl, but I feel like a boy inside. Or I'm a boy, I feel like a girl inside. And saying I'm 40 years old, but I feel 10 inside. You can't stop there. We gonna say no. We gonna say you're.
I mean that's a little different though.
You're agophobic.
That's
where they're bringing it in.
Actually been around 40 years. They're actually been around 40 years, not 10.
But they can say they've always felt like a 10-year-old.
They're bringing it in though because they said they're about to make a push to lower the age of consent. But it's not for like
it's already like 16.
Yeah, but they're trying to get it lower because it's not what people think. Like people are gonna take advantage of the advantage of it, but what is for low key is for like because in the gay community they like to target like younger boys or whatever. Like the older men like to target the younger boys.
Wait, before you say that, I was about to say. One of the videos that you had watched, was talking about how they let them they should, or I seen, or that they watched. It was like them interviewing like why people go to parades or something. But they were like, yeah, they should let them decide when they're really young. I'm like, when they're really young, like they like.
If your child is below 18 and I'm a parent, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do.
No.
Like
I'm talking about middle school. Like, how can people talk about I want to be a trans?
Okay.
I'm talking about people
like
in
here
in middle school, elementary school talking about something. I'm D and they. I'm a boy, and they're like, is a girl, and they're like, I'm a boy. It's like, yeah. But you know, back then though, back in the day, like if a girl felt like she wanted to be a boy or something, she was just like a tomboy. She was just like real hard, like she already dressed like it, but it wasn't like I'm a boy. It was just like I just dressed.
No, tomboys nowadays they would say. You're trans. They would be like, oh, you're really trans. And they would be like, I am. And that's when the confusion starts. And they get you real early. That's why they said the don't say gay bill. Literally, the bill said, don't teach sexuality, sexual identity, gender identity from kindergartners to third graders. Yeah. Why would we let teachers talk to kindergartners to third graders about sexuality, sexual identity, gender identity? If you had a kid and they were teaching that in the school, you said, I'm okay with it. Would you be okay with your same kid being on the playground and a grown-up come on the playground and say gender identity, sexuality, sexual choice, sexual orientation? You'd be like pedophiles on the playground. But we don't say that about the schools.
That made the pedophiles they playing.
No, I'm being for real. Being for real.
Yeah,
we can add more.
That's all. But the weird thing is, that's all we learned when we were back in the day. Like they'd be like, "Oh, like you're a boy, you're a girl," like in like elementary school and stuff. And now they're trying to rule that out to, I guess, say. You're whatever you want to be.
That's the problem. They letting kids be whatever they want to
They
be.
are giving us too much freedom on the slick.
Creativity, because they're kids. Kids have to. You don't let kids raise themselves. You teach kids how to be raised. That's why the Bible says raise your kids upright, and then even when they're older, they'll still return back to the same thing because they were raised on good morals, principles, foundation, like solid rock.
Confusion brings chaos. That's.
Look, I'm gonna bring up another Bible verse. The Bible explains all this, bro.
That's basically what they're just trying to create more chaos. Basically, is what's going on. I think we literally we just got too much freedom, low key. They need to start restricting some of this stuff. They do.
Look, it says here. It says, let me go here. Look, build your house on the rock. Matthew 7:24-27. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it has been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. That's just like when people come up with all these ideologies. They try to build their house up on the sand. You come through with some logic, and that house is washed away. And then the only thing they can do is go from logic to emotion, get mad, call you a bigot, cancel you, and get that as far away.
That man said bigot and
get that as far away from as possible. Literally, when you shatter people of the world's worldview with truth and logic, they legit get unplugged and scramble for what's going on. They jack themselves like, you bigot! And they get mad at you. That's literally what they do.
That's when the RP rage comes in.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do.
This man goes to
Because
turn
you
down.
shattered their worldview and
like,
gave them no
imagine,
solution.
Dylan, imagine right now if you've been living your whole life.
I was about to say you.
No, I was about to say, imagine you've been living your whole life thinking that your mom and dad is really your mom and dad, and today I told you, you know what? Those ain't even really your parents, bro. Your parents is somebody else. You would be like, wait a minute. I've been living my whole life with these people growing up.
I don't think that's a good example.
That's literally
I think a lot of times when you get to a certain age, though, it's just like you like.
But that would kind of be like the same thing if you thought that was.
It would be like you grew up thinking there are 100+ genders, and then someone gave you truth and logic and put biology, and they shattered your worldview, and it's just male and female.
Nah, that's
and
not
you would
the
be like,
same
see, the problem with the world nowadays is when you give people truth and logic, you have to have something to follow it up that's solid foundation. So you can't just shatter their worldview and leave them unhooked from the joystick. They're like, what? And then they have to jack themselves back in and become even more in sleep and be even more corrupted. So you have to shatter their worldview. And then, for real, like you shattered their worldview and you just, I say, just give them God and Jesus. And that would be all they need. That would be the foundation they need.
That's not the same
and they'll be
thing,
good. But
though.
that's the problem.
But I think everybody is like takes in religion differently, and it takes different time.
But I
We
think
can't
I think
always
people
use
who are
religion because why? Like it's many different religions.
They're not
Yeah, that's
real.
what I was gonna say.
He said it's not
They're
real.
not true.
So what makes
But
Christianity?
that's the
real?
thing.
It says
It's like
it
it's
is.
so
There's
many.
one
But what you mean?
And so
See,
every
that's
other
the
religion-
issue.
every
That's
other
the
religion is
issue.
against every
That's
religion.
the issue
So
with
it's like-
religion. It's like if it was one truth, then why is it so many of them?
Because people wanted to create their own.
It's
thing.
really whatever you want to believe.
It's not really whatever you want to believe because there is a truth. You can personally believe whatever you want, but at the end of the day,
So,
it's one.
This
truth.
is what I believe. John 14:6. Jesus answered, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Meaning,
So you don't think it's not something like that in the Torah?
No, none of the other stuff says that. If they want to say it, they go back to Jesus because he's the only one that says this. Buddha doesn't say this. Muhammad does not say this. Hindu does not say this. And then you have to think about it. The only religion they ever make fun of in the world is what?
Because it's the most popular one.
No, but just because it's popular doesn't mean they have to make fun of it. Like it's the one that's always made fun of. They always say isn't real. No one says the other one isn't real.
So you think that just other religions just like spiritual stuff?
I think other religions were people making up stuff they didn't want to follow Jesus, so they made up their own thing so they could follow in their own ways, and then they just got followers to follow it.
They think it's like a bunch of cults, pretty much.
Not a cult, like at this point it's a religion, but it's a religion based on like falsehood. So it would be like it's not gonna say there's no power in Buddha. There's no power.
But a lot of different religions just have different gods.
Different gods, yeah, but it's not the one God.
Yeah.
In my eyes, that's how I see it. Because it's just like Buddha gives you no power, Muhammad gives you no power, and they all just preach like real like happy messages, like prosper,
Prosper,
and meditate, and do this. And it's like they don't ever preach you do wrong stuff, you're going to hell. Like they always preach karma, like do good and get like karma. I would say I'm not gonna say it gets demonic, but
we might have another clip.
It's not really any. I don't think there's any such thing as
karma is demonic.
But see, they say karma.
Karma is just.
So
it's just
not like do y'all believe in karma?
Law
like,
and effect. I mean,
I think
effect,
that
really.
Karma works as in what you put out into society is what you gonna get back, kind of thing.
It's basically cause and effect.
But see, karma.
Like your energy is what you gonna get back, type of junk. Like.
But see, New Age and other religions say karma, and then God says,
I'm about to say, or you can just
do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:7-9. So this is basically saying exactly what karma is. Whatever you sow, whatever a man, you reap what you sow. So if you go up to people and you just do people dirty all your life, you're not, why would you reap good? Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Everything that the world says literally can be returned back to the Bible. Like, the Bible is one of like the first books. Almost every book, if you look at it on like you just look at the base level of how the book is written like from the Bible. Yeah. Like most stuff in society, most sayings that people say are from like, eye for eye makes the whole Bible. Do what you want done to others, Bible. Everything goes back to the Bible. So when people are like, oh no, I don't really, the Bible, I don't really, it's like, okay, but everything that was good about society and its collapsing was built on Bible. Think about it. They said man and woman together, it's good. They said, nah, we want different genders. Man be with men, women be with women. And now it's like, what's going on? Why aren't women and men? Why don't we have good? Like, what's wrong with the dating pool?
Yeah, low-key, I think that
can get a little bit no
questionable when they start talking about the different genders and stuff. It's like y'all just like reaching like that ain't part of the.
But see, that stuff had to happen because they have to reach the people who weren't paying attention. So like, if you weren't really paying attention, and then they came up to you and you were like, "Yeah, I was talking to Susan." Like, that's not my pronoun. I'm they them. You'd be like, whoa.
I heard they really take that job serious too, though. So that's why I'm like,
people have been canceled. Just like that dude got banned on Twitter because he called the girl, I think he called her like, I'm gonna just say like Billy, and because if I say the real name, we might get censored. But they called her like, let's say Billy, and Billy had transitioned to a girl and goes by like Banana, and so the dude on Twitter called her Billy still, and they banned him off Twitter. They were like, unless you delete the tweet, you won't be back. And he's like, no.
No, I just won't be back then.
That was Jordan Peterson. Yeah, he got banned off Twitter.
Jordan. Yeah.
And he's like, no. So
his daughter be making the rounds too. What's her name? Michaela Peterson or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, she was on Fresh and Fit.
You in this Fresh and
Fit? I had never watched that.
You said a whole bunch of talking points.
That's because most of them people talk like how I do. They just have more subscribers and followers. All jokes aside.
That man said he just ain't been clouded.
Like CGA. CGA literally says the exact same things I say. If I don't say them before, I don't even have to watch his podcast, bro. And we'll speak literally verbatim the same thing. And I'll be like, we be tapped in.
Yeah. I mean, because this stuff is just, like, some of this stuff goes beyond even religion and stuff. It's just common sense, bro. Like, well, I feel like it's common. I don't know, but. It should just be common thinking, like, bro. Like, some of this stuff is just, I don't know.
It's just logical.
Maybe it's not common sense. That's why I say. I guess that's why they say some people is sleep. Some people need somebody to tell them what to do. I guess.
At the same time, though, you also have to factor in that a lot of people don't like thinking for themselves. Because if they see that they have an opinion that's not like the mob, then they'll conform to the mob. Me, I'm like, my opinion don't have nothing to do with y'all's. I'm finna stand on that, and I get canceled. But they'll be like it's like when you are in school and everybody's like, oh yeah, we like da 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 da, like all the classmates like, wait, and there's one person that's like, I don't really, but then they're like, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like they're a bunch of conformists. That's all they do, conform. If they could shapeshift, they would turn into each other. They would just be. I should start calling them shapeshifters because they would just turn into each other. They would just conform.
This man creating his own guru language.
No matter what the occasion is, they conform.
His own guru language.
They conform to everything. Whatever the world tells them, they conform.
The shapeshifters.
Yeah, they a bunch of shapeshifters.
I gotta start that.
Yeah, they
The way
shape
they-
shift constantly. They conform. I'm like,
That was a good
it
one.
has to, like, that's the path of least resistance is to conform. Because it doesn't take any energy to actually do anything. You just go with what everybody else is saying. Like, I don't know how to even describe it. Like, you just conform. Like, oh, iPhone's the
We
best
get what
phone.
you're saying.
Yeah,
what
we
you're
get
saying,
what
bro.
you're
Yeah,
We
they
get
are.
what you're
But
saying.
you really like Android better in the back of your head. Like, you don't gotta conform, bro. You can tell us what you really feel. But I think a lot of people are scared of being canceled, scared of losing friends.
Yeah, I don't know why people
Me,
don't
I've
speak
lost
their
friends.
mind.
They really don't fuck. Nah, watch my lady. They really don't mess with me no more.
I do be saying what's on my mind too.
Dylan, you barely.
But a lot of
even
people
post
just
anything.
don't have what's it called? You said what?
That's
I
what
say
makes
you
me
barely
mad.
even post anything, Dylan.
They don't have, but when I say something, I be saying what's on my mind. I don't just be like,
Like I've never seen you post anything controversial before.
because sometimes you just don't gotta
I mean,
share everything. To
the reason
net.
I don't really post
You
nothing
ain't gotta
controversial
share
because
everything
like
to the net.
my thing is I don't really care,
But then
bro.
that's how
like,
people start thinking they know you when you start trying to put like sense out there. Like
yeah,
they
no,
think that
People know where I stand.
I'm the same way. Like I be seeing a lot of like I probably see something every day where I really be wanting to go in on it, but
But
it's
then
like
it's
I
like-
don't care, bro. Like I just
Yeah,
really
it's
don't like even
that's
like
how I think,
me
like-
pointing out my
And
putting
that's just
out
my opinion. So that's
me
why I
putting
be
out
like,
what
I
I
don't that's
think.
myself.
Like I just be like, man, they can do what they want to do, bro. I don't even care.
See,
bro.
that happened. My brain goes, Chad, you about to waste energy doing it, and then it's like, say that junk anyway. Somebody out there that's not gonna say it is gonna be excited. I said, like when I put up the Roe v. Wade thing, there were people coming in my DM saying that I should die, I should go to hell. Some are like, I'm like one girl, she argued with me, and I'm like, you have a kid, and she was like, well, if I could do things over, and I was like, so you would kill your kid? And I was like, all right, like at that point, you're like beyond being saved. But I mean, no one's ever beyond being saved. But like, you're beyond this conversation. And then others would DM me and be like, 100, yeah, bro, I agree. And in my head, I'm like, y'all making me mad too. Because if you
He
agree,
said y'all
stand on that
making
and
me
post
mad.
it. Like, if you know the truth or you,
That's
have
why
an
if it's even
opinion-
controversial, like I won't comment on it. I won't make comments on it on my page. I won't even swipe up on other people's stuff. I just look. Cause sometimes you just gotta look at it and like just think
some stuff I
about it.
let go by because it's like, but a
Some
lot of
you just
stuff
gotta
is
look
like.
and think about.
But I guess for me, with believers, like people that follow Jesus and they know all this, it's like, bruh, like when are you gonna stand up for something? You
I
just
mean,
gonna-
we all believe in Jesus. but
My
it's
whole
like-
thing is I don't even
But you gotta stand up for it. Like you gotta tell
Like
the
what
truth.
you mean?
my
Like the genders and stuff, I would be like, there's two genders. male,
He
female.
Well, I mean,
I'd be like
I
this.
say that if I see like when I see stuff like I seen a picture of something like on Twitter or something that was like a non-binary like bathroom. I'm like, so now they had their own bathroom. I see why, but it's like it just
But
getting
you
to the
quote
point where
retweet it
it's
and be
taking
like,
He
too
said, "Do you
nonsense.
quote retweet it and say this is nonsense?"
this is
Yeah,
nonsense.
that's what, like this is not. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
That,
say you
like,
would?
people-
I would
or
say if
would-
it's some bull, like, I'd be like, that's some bull. Like, come
Like,
on now, bro.
instead
Like,
of
it's
people-
getting too deep to this point. It's not even like you can't even like.
You can't avoid this stuff anymore. Like
Yeah,
I
like,
told
it's like
people,
pushing your
you
face so
have to,
much.
You have to choose a side. Either you're gonna be with the world and you're gonna just say, it is what it is. They can do what they want, or you're gonna stand up to that junk and be like, no, this is nonsense. And I'm gonna be like, this nonsense. Like I told y'all, eventually, if I'm still here long enough to where stuff is really getting, because it's just getting chaotic and it's gonna only get worse. The Bible says it's gonna get worse. In the end times, it will be chaos. So if they gotta kill me, I'm gonna be excited. I'm like,
What?
kill me,
My
kill me,
my thing,
kill me.
my thing is I don't even really care about humanity no more at this point. Like I'm like Thanos at this point. Half of y'all need to be wiped off. Honestly,
That man's
That's
I'm
what
like
it is,
Thanos at this point.
But Thanos, you gotta think from Thanos' point of view, he felt like he was doing the right thing. From the Avengers' point of view, they felt like they were doing the
that's
right thing.
that goes back to what I was
what
telling
I
you
said, it's all
about
about point of
perspective
view,
when
too.
I was telling you in that other
I was saying that.
episode about perspective.
It's but
Half of y'all do need to be wiped
let's
out. That's
take-
what they did.
But let's take out ourselves from Thanos' perspective and the Avengers. Who would you say was more moral? Those who just wiped everybody
I don't
out
care
because they
about
felt like
morality
people should
either.
go. No, but you have to
Nah.
because that's morality. Is like that's the problem with society. No one can figure out what morality is.
Because it don't exist.
It used to. But
'Cause it don't-
it used to, but they tore down morality to the point where anything can be anybody morality. Like we like if we can't agree what's murder, then anything goes at that point. If we can't agree what's considered good and what's considered bad, anything. If you can't agree that a man's a man, a woman's a woman, even if you're trans, it has nothing to do with it. But if a man's a man, a woman's a woman, and that only women can get pregnant, then we've already lost moral frame.
I don't think that has anything to do with morality, though.
It does, though, because the fact that society morally is even having to question what is a woman means that we've deteriorated that far.
Nice.
The fact that we're like, should we teach kids about sexual identity and orientation in kindergarten and third grade shows how far as a society we've come.
Well, yeah, that's a moral conversation. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Morality.
That's a clip.
Morality, humanity, all that.
The fact we're talking about trans kids at 12 shows how far
it's even younger than
12,
12, bro. Like, it's elementary school. They're like elementary school. They had the right to choose. They want to turn around. They want to start the process.
The fact
and it's not even like the reason why you know it's like not okay.
They teach you techniques.
They teach you masturbation in class. In like elementary, they're teaching kids masturbation. Like
what?
Like a lady, she was exposed on YouTube because she was teaching. She bought in a book how to masturbate. Masturbation's good for you for like third graders, bro. Yeah, and they were like, "Why are y'all like teach them reading, writing, math, and?"
We're doing the little timetable things that you turn over real quick.
My kid going to either private or homeschool.
They can't math sheets that they flip over and you do it.
I bet you kids nowadays don't know how to do cursive.
They can't go to public school.
I thought about that reading cursive. I feel like a lot of them know how to read cursive and like do like. A lot of times,
my kids will not touch a public school. They might not even touch college. I don't really believe in none of that no more.
Yeah,
I knew college was a scam.
College is a finesse.
When I finessed college and I learned nothing. I don't even know what I learned. All I know is how to cook myself a meal and have friends.
I don't think that college is about learning. What it is about learning stuff there, but I think it's more like responsibility and like.
I was telling my mom, I was
like that, like starting your day really.
I was telling my mom, I was like, I was like, yeah, man, college is really just really about networking. Like, if you can find somebody that may be on the path or something, or find people that's interested in the same stuff you is, then you can network. Y'all can maybe do some stuff. Because I met a lot of, like, good people in college, too. So, it's like, it's important, but for the education-wise, nah, I don't really mess with it.
The only reason I would say, like, if people were thinking about going to college and they have the opportunity to go to college, I would say go ahead and go. Because it's like, those couple of years of your life, you're not gonna really be doing that much, other than like if you have like a business or something like that. Like it just feels time.
If you want to be a nurse or like something like that,
going to college for those going to college for those who in high school you know exactly what you want to be. Meaning, I know I'm gonna go to law school at Georgia State University. I'm gonna get through and do that's for college. That's for people who want to be nurses, engineers. You want to go to law school. Now, if you're just saying like, I don't really know, I just kind of want to go to college, you probably need to hold off. Like, why doesn't anybody want to? I thought about the other day, and I was like, I got my degree in computer information systems, cybersecurity. I was like, I should have gone to trade school and been a plumber or like a carpenter or like a mechanic or a welder. You know how much those people make just to go to a trade school? Like, you would be an apprentice and stuff. You make like $80,000, $90,000.
You can be an apprentice though as a computer.
Yeah, but you would actually, like, for you to get hired in computers, you would have to literally be certified in all this random stuff. You would have to get, like, if I can get my foot in the door, I could be doing computers. But I hate sitting down behind a computer. Java programming.
Java programming.
That programming stuff is no joke.
Yeah, I was in computer science. I was about to change the computer
every day.
The computer,
what's it called?
The computer information.
All that math
and KSU had y'all doing some crazy stuff.
Nah, ours was extreme. Like, and then the math we had to take was extreme too. So the
math was the easiest part. I was like, I could be a math major. Calculus was a breeze.
I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, I
just statistics.
I don't really rock the college period. So I'm glad I didn't go, because now a lot of people that went, the debt gonna be crazy for them.
I actually know a lot of people who are in debt and they're just begging Biden to cancel student loans. I'm like, y'all are crazy. Y'all think he gonna?
That's how they get y'all though. Like
if Biden cancels student loans, get ready for chicken to be $30. Bread to be no longer existent on the shelves. Because food, bruh, we just keep giving people free money. The reason college costs money is to make it to where not everybody can have the degree. If college was free, it would mean nothing.
Exactly.
Because everyone has it. Just like if, like, eventually in the future, having a college degree is going to be like having a high school diploma.
I mean, it's already worthless now. My friend just told me, she was like, yeah, I'm just trying to find a job, but I learned that this college degree is worthless. And I was like, yeah. I could have told you that.
Yeah, because more people, like, jobs don't want people who go to school and learn about the job. They want people who know how to do the job. And that's the problem. I think If I would have known all that, bro, it would have been like Caleb. You know Caleb, the one who's married.
Yeah.
He went from high school. I don't think Caleb didn't go to college. He went and started working for the railroads, worked his way up into railroads, and Caleb has a high-paying, good job to not have gone to college. And it's like, because he had so much experience, that he had more experience even if he didn't have the school learning that we had, that if we were to get out of college and go for the same job he would have, they would be like, you don't know what you're doing. And he would get hired on the spot. Like, he don't even need a college degree because he has the experience. Like, would you rather have somebody who you've seen cut grass or just learned about it and say, I'm ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, degrees are useless.
Yeah, I think I feel like
I would never
it wouldn't
go to school
be.
again.
He said how
It's the biggest
never.
finesse.
Now school is a finesse. I'm telling you, but I think I don't look at school as like, oh, like school, like yeah. I look at it as like I gotta be doing other stuff, but this is just something I'm like doing like a little side mission. Like,
But how's that a side mission?
That's a full mission.
Because what is you doing?
that's the full-
Because what is you doing
really
in school?
The school really ain't that hard.
Because what would you be? Okay, but
go to
Dylan,
class,
you spent 4 years of your life,
attempt to do
maybe
that.
even more, doing nothing in the school though. That's the point though.
No, it's not even about the school. I think it's like how you think when you in school.
Cause like if I would have known like really low key like I would have did something else low key and just been starting working straight out when I was 18. Just start working and then just saving and doing other stuff and then putting that money that I made into
Yeah, if you
my
did
own
have money
job.
though, you could. Yeah,
Cause like that's the problem. Cause
you
like
could be like if you
with-
do this, if you do the right stuff.
Because when you go to school, like you only have a certain amount of like time that you can work, and most likely you're not really gonna want to work as hard. Like you're not gonna be working 40-hour weeks and then going.
The only
to
thing I
school
don't
at
get
the
with
same
school is
time.
why do they make us pay for like college and stuff?
And Chad just told you.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. You pay for college. Like, if college was free, it would be useless. It wouldn't be worth nothing. Because the
degree.
fact that people can't pay for it and have to take out the loans is what makes college valuable. Now, I know, like, the whole capitalist version of that is, like, that's the only reason it has value. But, yes, that's the only reason it has. Because if it was free, there would be no value behind your degree because anybody could go get it.
I mean, that's simple economics right
Yeah,
there.
and that's the
Simple
only
economics.
reason college costs money. In the real, like, Ivy Leagues, the only reason those are because it costs so much to get in, and then they make it so hard to actually finish that's why they're Ivy League. Like, if all schools, even Ivy League, were free, those schools would just be like, oh, you go there? Okay.
And that's why they had that scandal where them parents was paying to get into that college. I forgot what college it was, but they was
Might have
paying.
been like Princeton, Harvard.
Yeah.
Yale. Like, if I heard somebody say I go to Harvard, Princeton, or Yale nowadays, I'd be like, you kind of tripping, bro. Not
said
like
you're
in
kinda
sense you're not
tripping,
getting a good education, but like you going OD
It's so hard,
for something
yeah.
that like
No, man.
you're just paying for a name. You're just paying for a name at that point.
It's red.
Not because
He said, I'm
college
not-
classes are like I used to think like high school classes, you can go to class in high school and do an assignment in class and be like, okay, like this is easy, finish before the teacher stops talking and stuff. In college, you really got to look at that job. And it's like so confusing. Some of the college work is just like so confusing. It'd be like the intro class, intro to whatever subject, and it's hard. I'd be
College
like,
class, like high
That joke is
school,
no
11th grade and senior year, junior year and senior year of high school should have been what 9th and 10th grade of high school were, and then your first 2 years of college should have been junior year and senior year of high school.
People, it would
And when
have
you
been
get
way
to
more.
college, you could just change your major
It'd
as
been
long
way
as you
more
want
people.
for 2 years until
It
you
would have
find
been a
out
lot
what you
more
really
people
want.
not graduating high school. If work got that hard as it did.
But then think about it. If that was the normal, everybody would have still graduated. If that was what high school
If people were
already
complaining
was,
about high school work, and high school
because
work
those
was
people
easy.
were idiots. And high school was so easy, I never studied. I used to just show up and just bubble in stuff 80, 90. I'm like, okay. I didn't care about high school. I had to care about college. I just didn't want to flunk.
You'll go to college and you'll literally be in classes with people who take no notes, just sit up there in class, and then they'll get like A's on all the tests.
I knew college was a scam when I'm in the class and it'd be like 30 of us. Test day, it's at least 70. And that's from the same class.
Yeah, that's
and I'd be
how it
like,
is, yeah.
all these people in the
It'd be
class,
no
they're
sense.
not
You
even
gotta
in
come-
a different
you gotta
time
come with
block,
the
bro.
class.
They're all in the class. They just never
You gotta
go.
come to class early on test days, or it'll be like so
don't have a
many
seat.
people in
My
there.
psychology
You'll be
class,
looking around
bro,
confused. Yeah.
My psychology class had 30 to 40 people in it, and it was like a lecture. And then test day came. 200 people
I
showed up.
about to say, it'd be
And
like
I was like,
hundreds
I asked somebody that I'd never seen before. I was like, bro, are you like, do you have a different time? They're like, no, I'm in this class this time period, but I just don't come. And I was like, 200 of y'all showed up, bro, and I've never seen y'all there. And that's when I knew, like, if they're not coming and they're just taking the test and doing the homework or whatever, and they passing, it's a scam off rip. Like,
He said it's
because it could all be online at that point, or it could just be where you just show up for
everything
tests.
has gone online too with college. The whole pandemic stuff.
Once they stopped doing textbooks, I knew better.
Now they still do
He
textbooks.
said I knew better.
They do textbooks, and that's the only thing. Like textbooks, like you gotta buy books, and they're just expensive. But at least they let you rent them, but it's still like you paying. It's like a finesse.
Yeah, that junk is. But
I guess we finna. Y'all finna end the episode, or y'all finna keep talking?
we really ain't even really talk about what we was going to. We started talking about feminism and
I think we touched on it though.
We talked for
I brought
a
it back to
long
religion.
time. This is like this should be a good episode.
I mean, it's a good episode, but I'm just saying, like, we
Our
kind
topic,
of,
we went all
yeah,
over the
we kind of
place.
branched off a little bit, but it is what it is. Because I was really about to go in back to sun gaze and stuff, but I don't even feel like
You been trying to go in about sun gazing for I don't know how long, man.
no, because the junk do be helping though. Because like I was saying, you got to do it like at sunrise or sunset. When like on the phone, it tells you what the UV rays is. Like you got to do it when it's like 1 or 2.
One day Donovan's gonna sun gaze and his cornea is gonna be destroyed.
No, that's the point of doing it when there's no UV radiation, so that way you're not burning. Like if you really look at the sun, bro, it'll put you in a meditative state.
I guess, man. I don't know. Nothing about
Having
that
sun on you while you just like relaxing is relaxing. It makes
That's
you
what I
more
do.
relaxed and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
it puts you in a meditative state.
It is nice. So I mean,
That's
but
what
I don't think that you should look at it as you worship the sun.
It's not worshiping the sun. You literally just looking at it and it puts you in a meditative state.
Yeah, I'm good.
Actually,
with that.
looking at it can improve eyesight. They like sun gazing. It can cure sun gazing. Sun gazing can cure eczema. It got a whole sun. The sun has a whole bunch of.
I don't
cures.
think it's the sun gazing. I think it's just the process of the sun.
Not sun gazing.
It's
Not
because your
that.
melanin's absorbing it.
Yeah, that is. This man Chad. We already brought the facts. This man Chad just said if he brought with some facts, he'll understand the facts. That's the facts.
I mean, you said what you said.
sun is melanin is condensed sunlight.
But that eventually turns into like people worshiping the sun.
It's not. If they choose to do that ignorantly, then they can. But that's not what it's meant for.
I don't know, bro. That's a thin line.
if somebody wanna, I could worship this microphone if I wanted to.
But you're not. That's
Y'all
not,
comment
that's
down
not
below
the
what
same.
y'all
Yes, yes, it is.
That's understandable.
You can worship anything, like.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you can. but
Like
I'm
I could
talking
create a
about-
whole religion around this microphone if I wanted to.
It wouldn't have no traction for real.
The people who love Blue Yeti would.
I guess. I think it takes more like the other religions. They're like they get you because it's truth with it's like a lie. Like at the core, like they have a little truth, but it's wrapped in lies, and then they got people over there believing it. Like most people probably have like it don't matter no more. They're all fake to me.
Most people have what?
I would just say most religions are fake.
But that's the thing.
None of them give you any power. They except for my boy Jesus. They're all fake, bro. Fake gods doing fake stuff.
No, he may have to break this down one episode. Maybe in the next episode. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
this
not
one's
next.
wrapping up, but
Yeah, this one wrapping
The
up.
religion's
'Cause
fake.
I was about to say
spirituality.
we
Spirituality
even-
is real because there's spiritual warfare. Like you actually, like most bad, like I gotta go back to my Bible. Like find a verse for y'all so we can, because we fight not against flesh and blood, but of principalities and rulers of darkness.
Yeah.
And that's spirituality. So that's what I was trying to say the other episode.
We may have to break it down next episode or another time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just read the verse and I'll be done with it. Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. Just like when you remember we saw that abortion video and that lady was like, and she like a demon? Because them spiritual forces of evil, they were They had her under wraps. They were like, the demons in there riled up and got mad. That's
What video are you talking about?
I forgot what it was. It was like some white lady.
You said I watched it or Dylan?
I thought I showed y'all, but I may not have. But like them people that be outside protesting, and they just be so enraged. Them demons, them spiritual powers of darkness. Them spiritual powers of darkness, they be operating right there within them, just like all the celebrities do. Especially Beyonce and all them.
Wait.
I'm about to say we get all over the place. Man, I gotta say this for another episode.
I'm about to say this, man. We already addressed that.
Like I said, I can bring everything back to the Bible, but that's if people.
What do you think predated the Bible?
I think before, well, the Bible was always here. I'll prove it.
What you mean the Bible was already here?
It was always here. Here we go. So let me go to it. All right, yeah. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So in the beginning, before they even put the Bible, no, I'm saying that. I'm saying that in the
Bible
beginning,
is
before,
only like 5,000 years old.
But before the Bible, like physically, before the Bible physically was paper, God had already had the Word with him, and He formed the Word. Like the Word was there when God sat up and He said, like, no, for real, like when God sat up and He just had a blank slate. Like, let's just imagine He had a blank slate, and He said, before He even put the horizon, the waters, the heavens, the people, the animals, before the 7 days of creation, the Word was with Him. So He's up there like, what am I gonna do? The Word's already here. The Word was Him, and then He built everything else. So the story was already created, and then He formed the plot, the storyline. He made all the different things that had to function so that way the story would be true and complete. That's how I think of it. So like, in the beginning was the Word. So the beginning, and that's before like anything was even created, because He started off creating stuff. But if the Word, which is the Bible, was with Him, and it wasn't paper yet, it was already there. So He, like I said, like He made the story. Like, that's how good He is. He made the story, then He put all the pieces of the story into physical reality, just so that way His Word would be true and complete. You can clip that.
Did some content after that. Go ahead.
I don't know if that was too deep to understand. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, that wasn't too deep to understand. But
it's like a movie director. He wrote the script, then got all the people and stuff for the script, and then they all followed the script.
But
and
what
made
I'm
the
saying
story.
is, what were the people?
But see, like, okay, let's say there was no Bible, no nothing.
Yeah.
Let's say there was no other religions.
What was they doing?
What was
I
they
mean,
doing?
I already know the answer, but I'm just asking you to.
They would already know internally.
They probably
Like,
just
you would know
worship-
internally
like,
what's
when
good and what's wrong.
When
What's
people
wrong
didn't
and
have
what's not.
religion and stuff, they probably just worship like nature and stuff.
But that's not really God. You would see nature and be like, somebody had to have created this. Like, stuff works too
that's
well.
what
Like,
I'm saying.
we're
That's
at the
right.
right distance away from the sun, not to burn, but also not to get too cold. The water flows. Our cells and stuff do stuff for us to stay out. We breathe without thinking about it. Like, something had to make that function. It's not like, boom, sparkles, lights, action, and then we're here. Oh wow, this flows.
Hey, this man is so stupid.
Like, this stuff was designed. Like, man was supposed to be with women. Like, it just fits. Like, just it goes right in there.
This man said it
It was
goes right
designed
in
that
there.
way. The birds fly south when it starts getting cold. Like, back in the day, they didn't need the Weather Channel to know when it was gonna rain, when it was gonna start getting cold. You just watch the birds, different stuff like that. And they know, like, oh, we're about to begin winter if the birds are flying south.
A lot of our
was
senses and stuff has atrophied, and it's gonna continue with the advance of technology.
What does atrophy mean? You mean like diminished?
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then we were more tapped in. Because you didn't have technology trying to tell you, like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, people
This
get
is
so
dumbing people
people.
down.
I'm about to say people get so stupid because they'll be like, all this technology is advancing us forward, but in reality, it's pulling us back because we used to be everything a computer could do. We could do everything without the need of a phone. Like in ancient times, we could do everything that a phone could do or internet. We could do it without the use of technology. But now, for some reason, we think we're advancing because we have a phone and stuff like that. But
Yeah, exactly.
so that's what I'm saying. Our senses and everything has atrophied.
And I think depending on what kind of stuff that we upgrade with technology, you can move it backwards.
I think all technology now has moved backwards. Once the internet came about and everybody collectively had the same opportunity to reach out and get information, is when we reached the peak of technology, like in my terms. Because at that point, you get to the point where, okay, so it was like this. We created the internet. People were able to get on the internet. Information they didn't know, they were able to achieve. Now, because we all had that opportunity to get on the internet and achieve that, now we have an access to too much information. So people think they know more than they actually do. Like, they know more stuff that contradicts stuff they already knew that was true. And so, like, it's an overload. Like, it's too much. Like, music nowadays, the more you oversaturate something, the worse it becomes. Music's oversaturated now, and there's not really much quality out there.
Yeah.
Clothing and fashion.
That's why I don't even be like on Instagram. So I don't even be uploading like music and like different songs and stuff, because I just be like, music nowadays, it'd be like I be trying to listen to different genres and like switch it up.
I listen to different genres. I don't
be
even listen to
like,
rap.
yeah.
I be so out the loop.
I mean, it's good, but
He's
every once in a while I
happy
just
to
be
do
like, and sometimes I just don't even like music. Cause just like I'd rather just
Access to too much knowledge, bro, only brings stupidity.
I go to the club and bar, and I don't know what kind of songs they be playing. Like, what is this?
Yeah, because I really do think the internet has regressed, because now everybody thinks they know everything. Like, at a certain time, it was like when the internet first came, we were all learning. And then now it's like, what really can you learn new off the internet besides different perspectives?
It's just done us. It's just too. That's why I hate Twitter, because it's just too much. Too many opinions, bro. It's some stupid people, bro. It just gets too much to the point where it's like, man, they should have never gave y'all Twitter.
I think that Twitter is pretty good though.
Because you a surface dweller.
It's funny.
But like not like getting like information. Like I think it's better than Instagram. I think getting information wise, like stuff happening in the world, like world events and stuff. You can Twitter actually has like
maybe for news,
like news apps.
News.
Like
I'm talking about
like
just people opinions.
When you go
to
like by saying like you don't just look at people's opinions.
That's what Twitter is for. To tweet opinions. That's what the whole platform is for. To tweet out whatever.
They be doing like news, sports. You can go to sports like if it's a NBA game.
I understand what you're saying. Like if you go on a trending page,
they ain't using Twitter the way it's supposed to be used.
Like accessibility, like just looking at everything.
I think some people talk on Twitter just to hear themselves talk. Like there's no substance actually behind it. Like
if you go on Twitter now,
you get to see like clothes, like different stuff, like unreleased stuff that's not on. Like,
I get what you saying, Dylan. You not using it as the purpose I'm talking about. I'm saying like if you go on Twitter now, all you gonna see is he a 10, but. Blah blah blah. Like that's literally all you gonna see, bro.
It's Twitter used to be good back in the day though, because you would get like information before Instagram. I swear.
That's why I was saying the internet is oversaturated, because instead of going for information, now everybody has a voice. Not everybody needs a voice.
I'm about to say.
And I'm not saying that like you can't say what you want, but we weren't meant to say everything we were thinking. Because at some point on Twitter, you have to start questioning, like, do people actually believe what they're saying, or are they just saying
they be trolling?
Twitter just to go.
I think they be trolling, bro.
Twitter just to say stuff.
Yeah, they just be saying stuff.
Are they probably get along, go along, or do they actually believe that? And I think that most people don't believe half the stuff they actually like agree with or they type. I think they just say it either for like shock value, or they say it because everyone else is saying it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section.
Like I legit think that, and I think the internet really is just digressed people. It's made people dumber, because you have access to so much information, you don't know what's true. And that's where that spirituality, that rabbit hole gets you. Because you start researching stuff, you start going down a rabbit hole of like, at a certain point, you're like, well, I guess we'll say that for another video. But I was gonna say at a certain point, you stop believing even stuff that you knew was real is real.
Like what?
Like anything.
Like planets.
We never knew planets was real, though.
I don't know.
We never knew that to be real in the first place.
Like when they said Pluto's now a dwarf, I was like, who? Where'd they get that information
from? That was crazy information.
Yeah, I was like, where'd they actually like get that information? I'm like, who measured Pluto?
How did they even see planet? Like, bro, that whole planet thing is just a bunch of, I don't even want to get it.
It's mind-boggling.
It's just a whole bunch of malarkey, bro.
Yeah.
That's just so wicked. But I guess that's the episode, man.
I don't even know what this episode really about. I guess we just chit chat.
We talked about feminism. We talked about school.
Just about everything. So y'all gotta leave a like on this video.
Yeah, like, comment,
We need
subscribe.
1,000 likes on this
This
episode.
said 1,000 likes.
Make sure y'all go to the Instagram page, the YouTube. Make sure you go to
At
the
Waiting Q
TikTok.
podcast.
Yeah, Waiting Q podcast. This episode, we uploading this today.
Yeah.
We gonna do it tomorrow.
What's today? Thursday or?
Yeah,
We could. I mean, we said we was gonna upload every Thursday.
the clips
We don't
will
want
go up later on.
We don't want to mislead the viewers.
Yeah, we can upload it today, I guess. 'Cause this episode is pretty decent.
And then we just upload the clips tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
We have to find clips. It's 2 hours, so we gotta like search through. I know, like at 1:58, I said clip that.
Y'all the ones that need to look through and give at the clips.
Yeah,
'Cause
we can find good clips.
I just be remembering certain stuff and I'll just go to the part, but most of the time I don't really watch it jump back, to be honest.
Y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Anyways, man, it's been your boy Chad Chado at Joey Chadass on everything. I don't have Twitter. I don't have none of that. Just
He
That
said
man said it's some fake people.
I just had it
It's
on.
not him.
I just have it on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube at Chad Beck. What do y'all want to say?
It's
I'm
me,
done.
your boy.
I'm done. It's that man done. No,
Your boy deal on everything.
Peace, y'all.
Pretty much. Hey, man. Appreciate y'all.